After a month and a half delay in 2020, football begins now. Zephyrs and Apple Valley Eagles here on a Friday night with the lights shining bright. Back in the end zone to take it out, Jaden Garrison. Garrison wrapped up at the 14-yard line by a number of Zephyrs. And that's where Apple Valley will start their position, 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. We're starting a little bit early, but with Jeff Disher, I'm Alex Westhead. And Jeff, as far as football weather goes on a Friday night in the Twin Cities, couldn't ask for much better than this.
And you know something? I feel like the football game will start run heavy on both sides because you don't want to have slippage if you're a quarterback, and the potential for a slippery or a wet ball as you are looking to pass the ball.
One sight that you see on your screen right now that was absent in the 2020 year across most sports. The student section has returned a tropical luau night tonight for the Zephyr students. 1st and 10 for Apple Valley. They'll run a single back set out of the pistol. Timothy Wyant, the quarterback, will send a receiver in motion to the left, Jaden Garrison. Wyant gets a snap, handoff to the right-hand side, met immediately by a number of Zephyrs. Cody Dvorak in there first, and a great stop defensively for the Zephyrs. It'll bring up 2nd down and 9.
I'm interested to see how Apple Valley will respond this first series defensively.
Ball carrier Connor Elliott in just one recorded game a year ago for the Apple Valley Eagles. He was dominant, 34 rushing attempts, 183 yards, and 4 touchdowns for the Apple Valley Eagles. When we look at this offense for Apple Valley, 4 losses a season ago in 2020. All 4 of those losses shutouts. Eagles need to get points on the board early in order to have a chance to win tonight.
Early and often, as the saying goes.
Shotgun formation on 2nd and 9. Wyant, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. Has the running back Elliott to his right. Fakes the receiver in motion. Now going in motion is Howder. Hand off to Howder. Howder to the right-hand side. Man, and a beautiful tackle right at the line of scrimmage. Flag flies. We'll see what the laundry on the field is. Wonderful tackle delivered by Jordan Hull, who will be all over the ball on both sides.
Hull on the tackle.
And the penalty will be deferred, so it'll be on Apple Valley. It'll bring up down a 3rd now.
It's an illegal shift on the offense. And so that will bring the ball back. Or actually, the penalty was declined.
Penalty was declined.
So a loss of the 1 on the play on a wonderful tackle by Jordan Hall. And we talk about, too, defensively for Mahtomedi. Of their leading tacklers a year ago, 5 of them, the top 5 all gone from the 2020 roster. 0 returning sacks, but this team will be ready. 3rd and 10. Shotgun formation again. Wyant keeps no receiver motion. Cadence is long, rolls out to the right. Wyant with a throw. Pass is complete on the near sideline. Did he secure it? He did. Catch is made. Wonderful catch made by number 11, Jaden Garrison. That will move the chains. A 1st down for the Apple Valley Eagles.
And Apple Valley needs to take the Mahtomedi student section out of the game early, because the earlier they can control the game, the more effective Apple Valley will be coming down the line.
It's a gain of 14.
Impressive pass, too.
On the catch by Garrison. So here's 1st and 10 as the chains move. Wyant again, the quarterback. In the backfield with him is number 5, Connor Elliott. Just 2 rushing attempts so far. Handoff is to Elliott. Elliott up the middle. Trying to spin out of the first couple of tackles before the Zephyrs able to force him back down. And a nice tackle there. A modest gain of just 4 yards on that run. That'll bring up down a 2nd and 6. First on the coverage, Kai Sather, one of the leading returners with 5 tackles a year ago.
And on the offensive side for Apple Valley, a slow and steady start, I'd say. And controlling clock, to my previous point, is also very important.
5th play of the drive now for the Eagles. It was a gain of 4 on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. Wyant, the quarterback, pistol formation, sends a receiver in motion. Howder to the near side. Fakes the handoff to Howder, throws over the middle. Pass batted down and incomplete. There's Jordan Hull again on the pass deflection as it was intended for Jaden Garrison, and another 3rd down drawn by the Zephyrs.
Now, I don't know that I would have run there. I like the play fake on 2nd and 6 as you're seeing on your screen. But that pass not massively underthrown, but underthrown a touch to where Apple Valley is now in danger of a 3 and out.
Jeff, to your point, a light mist so far in George Smith Field this evening, 61 degrees at the opening kick.
Run-heavy football for Apple Valley.
But a couple of passes too, but the passes have been working so far, at least on that third down play for the 14-yard gain. What on third down comes here?
I'll be honest with you, I like the play action fake here on third, although shotgun formation doesn't suggest it.
3rd and 6. Laying the quarterback.
Ooh.
Hand off to the right-hand side, right into the pile of Zephyrs. A wonderful third down stop by Mahtomedi. As a ball carrier, Elliott again tried to go to that right-hand side, but couldn't get that hole, and they'll bring up 4th down.
4th and 6 for the Eagles.
No gain on the play. Even worse of an issue for Apple Valley.
So to bring up 4th down, the Eagles appear to be in punt formation. There's 2 returners back deep for Mahtomedi, as Ethan Loss and Gunnar Woods back deep to return. The punter is also the running back Connor Elliott, number 5, standing about the 18. Snap, perfect. And Elliott's right-footed kick can be fielded by Loss. Actually, he'll play it off of a hop, fielded at the 28, cutting back to the near side, trying to get across the 30. Loss hobbled up there, and you don't like to see that on the first play of the game, as Loss hobbles his way over the sideline. And if that is an injury, that will be a major loss for the Zephyrs offense.
First week, I don't want to see that first week of the season, but back to the 4th down play with Apple Valley there, as you're seeing the punt return. I don't know on 4th and medium that you would want to keep your offense on the field as your punt returner comes up gimpy. So Apple Valley made the right call with the down and distance they had.
The Mahtomedi Zephyrs a year ago in 6 games, they did what they do oh so well, scoring points in bunches, 27.3 points per game, offensive yards per game, 222. I formation on 1st and 10 from the 38. Handoff to the left-hand side is Hull. Hull hits the hole over to the 42-yard line, and the all-purpose man, Connor Elliott, brings up the tackle, gain of what will be 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6.
2nd and 6 for the Zephyrs.
And for Mahtomedi, another slow, cagey opening to a possession.
So Hull, the featured running back here a year ago, 73 carries, 372 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 fumbles, and games recorded on MN Football Hub. 2nd down and 6. Hull, the lone back. The near side back is Dominic Rohr. Dropping back to pass, throwing here to the near side. Pass is complete to Quinn Walick from Charles Brandt, the quarterback. It's another modest gain down to the 46-yard line. That's where the ball will be spotted. So another gain of 4 and a 3rd down coming up for Mahtomedi.
Now, let me bring a question your way. Do you go play fake here on 3rd and 2?
Well, that's a good question. You certainly wonder the short yardage situation. And you saw what Hull was able to get on 1st down. Middle of the field, I might just run it up the gut here.
I do not disagree with you. You couldn't have put that any better. Mahtomedi, 3 straight plays in the I formation.
And another I formation play. Handoff is to Hull up the middle. No, says the big man. Dion Kelson gets into the backfield. No gain on the play, as Jordan Hull unable to hit that hole and break into the secondary. That'll bring up a 4th down and a 3 and out for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs.
And that's on the offensive side for Mahtomedi. That's something we'll have to track and see if the Zephyrs go away from the I formation, their next offensive possession coming towards the end of the quarter.
So Jordan Hull will punt it away for Mahtomedi. Back deep to receive Ian Hodder, the 5'9 junior, back at his own 15-yard line for the Eagles. Hull gets a snap. Kick is high. This is a booming kick. And Hodder will watch it roll out of bounds. It'll take a friendly Mahtomedi roll, but they cannot save it as it goes back into the end zone for a touchback. So the Eagles will start their 2nd possession, 1st and 10 from the 20.
And it is the 20. We are familiar with the 25 in levels above high school. So does something to keep in mind for Apple Valley, do they maintain their presence with the rush, or do they go more pass heavy this drive?
6:21 remaining here, 1st quarter, no score. Eagles and Zephyrs, just the 2nd all-time meeting between Mahtomedi and Apple Valley. The last came in Apple Valley, a 31-8 victory for the Eagles on the 11th of October in 2019. 1st and 10 from the 20. Quarterback Wayant will send a receiver in motion as Hodder. Different back in the backfield this time, as he'll roll out to the right. Unleashes a shot Beautiful pass and completion there on the right side for Jaden Garrison. And that play that got the Eagles the first down on their first drive works again here for another first down on their second.
Garrison, the straw that stirs the drink for Apple Valley. And you see a great pass from Wyand there to the far side. Garrison keeping both feet in bounds to make the catch.
So Wyant was one of the question marks for this Apple Valley Eagles. Graduating senior a year ago, Caleb Scott, 13 of 34, 203 yards in the only game reported. Wyant's numbers, 1 of 3 for 33%, 43 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions. You certainly like what you've seen out of Wyant so far.
Indeed, and we'll see if he goes to the air here. First down.
New back is Cecil Watkins.
No.
Coming here to the near side on the end around as they try to get it. Garrison is wrapped up there. Picked up a couple down to the 34-yard line. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play if the spot is true. It'll bring up second down and 8.
Apple Valley mixing up their offense, and a good analyst would keep the play selection. However, I'm not going to go down that road. But the point I'm trying to make is Apple Valley mixing up their play selection very well.
Second and 8. From the Eagles' 33-yard line. Wyant the quarterback, Watkins in the backfield. 2 receivers on the near side, 1 slot right. Waiting for the snap, wonderful cadence here. He'll send a man, trying to send a man in motion anyway. Finally able to do so. Whistle will blow, and a false start is called. That miscommunication from the Eagles cost them there, Mr. Disher.
5 more yards, or 5 yards backwards, bringing a 2nd and 13 to the 4 as the penalty will be a false start. Mr. Westad, I sense Apple Valley going back to the air.
Well, that's one of those plays, too, where I think that they were trying to get that motion because we've seen 2 things work so well so far for Apple Valley. We've seen that pass to the right-hand side, that connection from Wyant to Garrison that's worked so well. But then we've also seen those end arounds on the right-hand side, again, using Garrison to be able to create that space and separation. Let's see what happens here. 2nd and 14. They'll send Garrison in motion from left to right. Wyant is the quarterback out of the pistol. As one in the backfield is Watkins. Watkins with the handoff, trying to escape traffic, but cannot. Interior linemen doing their job once again, and with a wonderful tackle, John Paul Johnson. And that brings up another 3rd down.
Logic going into this 3rd and 12 says that wasn't necessarily the right play call. I don't know what Apple Valley was or I don't know what the thought process was behind a run on 2nd and 13. Again, anticipating a pass here on now, and they did not get a yard or a gain on the last play, so I'm anticipating a pass on 3rd and 13.
Apple Valley 1 for 2 on 3rd down on their first drive. They have 2 first downs. Mahtomedi without one as of yet. Wyant getting the snap, rolling to the right-hand side, throws another shot, intercepted! Beautiful play! William Arlinson on the pick. Zephyrs had 0 returning interceptions. They got one there. Huge play for Mahtomedi on 3rd down.
And that speaks to my point of Apple Valley waiting an extra play to throw a pass into the equation. And you saw the result with the Mahtomedi interception. Short field for the Zephyrs to work with. Coming up on their 2nd possession of the game, 4:13 to play in the opening quarter.
So Mahtomedi will take over 1st and 10 from the Apple Valley 30. First time in this game where either team has operated on the opponent's side of midfield.
Points, of course, are imperative if you're Mahtomedi. Make Apple Valley, or burn Apple Valley for throwing that pick.
We have a stoppage of play. I believe a timeout was taken. Official water break has been the message from the coaching staff here at the Al Sandsgaard Press Box on George Smith Field. If you're unfamiliar with the Mahtomedi Zephyrs in the history of this facility, one of the historic programs in the metro area, George Smith Field named after the 2011 Mahtomedi Athletics Hall of Fame inductee. 43 years as head coach of the Mahtomedi Zephyrs with 4 state appearances, 265, 122 all-time, thereby the 2nd winningest head football coach in Minnesota high school football history and part of the Minnesota Coaches Hall of Fame in 1994.
And doesn't the Mahtomedi football program date back to the 30s? 30s. I want to say 37, if I recall the number correctly. So Mahtomedi, to your point, one of the most historic programs in the state.
1932, the first season
32.
of Mahtomedi high school football. Initially referred to as the Lincoln Town of Mahtomedi Violets. The team colors were violet, purple, and gold. Practices were held at Wildwood Field. 1st and 10 for Mahtomedi as the history lesson is over. The quarterback, Charles Brandt, out of the I formation again on the pitch to the right-hand side. Explosive here, change of play back. Jonathan Harvey. Harvey racing outside of the 15, tackled out of bounds. And just barely on that out-of-bounds barrier by William Townsend on the tackle for the Eagles. And the first down for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs.
And Apple Valley dangerously close to adding yardage to the play there with a tackle out of bounds and unnecessary roughness as you see a replay of the run here. Quick pitch. Great blocking from Mahtomedi on the offensive side leading to that tackle, a vicious tackle out of bounds.
Gain of 15 on the pitch by Harvey. First down for Mahtomedi. They'll go I formation again. Quarterback Brandt under center has Rohrer, and then further back again Harvey. Receiver out the left-hand side is Underwood. And off to Harvey again. Harvey up the middle, able to get past the 10, down to near the 7. Number of Eagles in on the tackle. That'll be another wonderful gain of about 7-8 yards on the play. They'll spot it officially at the 8-yard line, so a gain of 7 second down.
And now Mahtomedi can take the pass out of the equation. If you're inside the 10-yard line, you can run with what Apple Valley is giving them defensively. You could afford to run it up the gut maybe one more time before dumping it off.
Second down and 3. Rohrer and Harvey in the backfield. They fake the pitch, rolling out to the left-hand side as the quarterback Brandt trying to get out to the outside edge. Brandt denied, just barely shy of the goal line. That'll be another first down for Mahtomedi, and it'll set up goal-to-go situation from what I believe will be inside the 1.
I've got it as at the 1-yard line. If I saw that shot of the official's foot on the far side, as we see a replay of the play fake. Quarterback rolls out and he gets to a point on the sideline where he runs into trouble. But it's first and goal at the 1.
So a gain of 6 on the quarterback keeper to the left side by Charles Brandt. Great speed out to that left side. I formation again. Rohrer and Harvey in the backfield. Underwood to the left.
Watch the play fake here.
Wallach out to the right. And up to Harvey. Harvey, he's in. Touchdown, Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Jonathan Harvey on the 1-yard touchdown scamper, capping off the 5-play drive, and the Zephyrs take the lead.
I'm no Tony Romo, but I saw that potential play fake coming on that first down and goal to go situation. Good to see Mahtomedi taking advantage of Apple Valley's mistake with their last possession.
Well, I think that you have Jordan Hull, who's the workhorse, but Jonathan Harvey there too on that drive. Excellent speed, excellent move and losability as a running back. You like what you see out of Jonathan Harvey.
And I like what I see out of the Mahtomedi offense as a whole.
So points off of turnovers, so huge in the game of football. Zephyrs have 6. We'll see if they can tack on a 7th here with the extra point attempt. Kick is up, and it is good. Joey Heinch, whose sister plays for the University of Northern Iowa in Division I soccer, finds the upright true, replacing graduated Kyle Oswald, who was 7 for 7 a year ago. Mr. Heinch, 1 for 1.
Are you saying the kicking game is in the blood?
I would certainly say so. So the drive for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs took just 4 plays, 30 yards, and not much time off the clock.
Not
just
at all.
52 seconds on the scoring drive for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs.
Now, if you're Apple Valley, you need points because it is effectively you've effectively surrendered more than that touchdown by not getting points a possession ago. If you are the Eagles, because you had that 3 and out on this side of the field last time out if you're Apple Valley.
97 games across the Twin Cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul and beyond. We thank you for choosing this one. Again, with Jeff Disher, I'm Alex Westhead, Suburban Community Channels TV19. We'll see these Zephyrs again as they'll take on the Tartan Titans coming up on the 24th of September. Myself and my friend Jordan Gustafson will be on the call from Tartan High School for that one. Certainly hope you can join us. Heinz to kick off. It's a 3-back set deep to receive for Apple Valley with Hyder, Garrison, and one additional receiver, Hansen. It'll go into the end zone for a touchback as it was intended for Howder. And again, 1st and 10 upcoming for Apple Valley. And Jeff, on their first 2 drives, we saw some success on the right-hand side through the run game and through the end arounds that the Eagles appeared to have been working so well. Do they go back to that well on their 3rd?
A good run game sets up a great passing game, so I can see Apple Valley utilizing the pass to start the drive. And last possession for Apple Valley, they waited one play too late to fire the ball from the quarterback position. I'll be interested to see if that changes on this drive.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. They'll go pistol set here again. The normal running back, Connor Elliott, gets another breather as Cecil Watkins is in the backfield. Wayne, the quarterback, will send a receiver in motion to the right. It's Garrison. A little bit
Blitz
of a trick
coming.
play, and the Zephyrs snuff it out briefly, forcing them back. Huge loss in the play. They'll mark it down to the 5-yard line, as it wasn't Watkins, rather Jesse Gimafi unable to get there.
Should be, I'll have to see it again, should be the 10-yard line for the loss of, or for, yeah, 10-yard line will be the line of scrimmage for second down. But Mahtomedi's blitz package working well on that last play.
You see on your screen there, Eagle head coach Chad Clendenning in his 9th season, a Phi Ed teacher at Apple Valley, Augsburg University football player in the class of '92, and assistant coach in Apple Valley since the year 2000. A pair of head coaches with similar backgrounds. We'll get to Coach Metzel in just a moment. And off to the right side. Then right back to the middle as he cut up the middle, trying to find something there. No dice, no gain on that play. And another long 3rd down queued up here for the Eagles.
Got to go to the throwing arm. You waited one play too late again.
John Paul Johnson on the tackle defensively. So Apple Valley appears to be trying to incorporate 3 different running backs. We saw Elliott on the first drive. We saw Watkins on the second. And we've seen Gimafi here on the 3rd. 3rd and 15. Coming up now for Apple Valley.
Need to strike here if you're the Eagles. Bad.
Loaded right-hand side, which has worked so well. 2 passes to the right, 2 completions. 1 for 3 on 3rd down are the Eagles. Wayand gets a snap. Will drop back to pass. Steps up into the pocket. Throws pass complete. Wonderful play made by Howder. And down on the ground. Not much doing there. Back to the original line of scrimmage. And a gain of 5 on that one. I believe first to it was Jake Larson and Beersdorf combining on the tackle. And a 3 and out for the Eagles. Their first 3 and out of the game.
And you know something else? 2nd straight possession. Nostradamus coming to the fore. They waited a play too late to get rid of the football, Alex.
So we'll see what they do here. Again, the pair of returners, Woods and Loss, standing at the Zephyr 45-yard line here with 1:13 remaining. Zephyrs leading 7-0 over the Apple Valley Eagles. Again, just the 2nd all-time meeting, at least in the MN Football Hub era, that these 2 teams have met. We'll have a whistle and a timeout taken by Apple Valley.
Yep.
That will be their first of the half. They have 2 remaining. Zephyrs with all 3. So with 1:02 remaining, Jeff, Apple Valley, again, they keep trying to go for that right side. They keep trying to attack Beersdorf and Hull on that right side. But with the talent and the experience over there, I don't know that I like that play call.
I'm with you. And I get that you are run reliant if you are the Apple Valley Eagles. But when you go to the air, as these first 10 minutes and 58 seconds have shown us, when you've gone to the air, you've gone to the air too late. I'd be interested to see them go to the air on 1st down or 2nd down early in the series to potentially change things up a bit. You're down 7-0 because of decisions such as that one.
Rollinger now joining Gunnar Woods back defensively. Punt formation again as Connor Elliott is in the punt, standing at his own 8-yard line. And again, the duo of Woods and Rollinger standing at the Mahtomedi 45-yard line. So again, should be excellent field position. Elliott with a high kick, sailing end over end, can be fielded there at the 48-yard line by Woods. Woods trying to cut it back, spins out of 1 tackle before being driven down. Good 2nd pursuit made by number 9, Jaden Cunningham, defensively for the Apple Valley Eagles, but still Woods able to get on to the Apple Valley side of the field. Gain of 7 on the return. Zephyrs will have it 1st and 10 from the Apple Valley 48.
Short field again, or once again for the Zephyrs, and with the short field that started at the 30-yard line a couple of drives ago, we'll see if Mahtomedi can take advantage of a 48-yard short field as they go.
Zephyrs have run just 8 plays, on their drive so far, 4 on each. First was a 3 and out. Second was a touchdown. Here's Hull to the left side, trying to escape. Elliott is able to do so. Elliott on the ankles, and then assisted up top by Dwayne Smith. Defensively for Apple Valley, a nice gain on first down, and a gain of 5 it will be. I'll bring up 2nd and 5.
And Mahtomedi offensively keeping the foot planted to the floor.
So we're inside a minute now, just 20 seconds remaining. I'll bring up 2nd and 5 as the Zephyrs roll out of the I formation. Again, that extra protection, that extra lead blocker works well for the style of football that Dave Metzel's Zephyrs play. Hull up the middle, gets into the second level. He's got a first down to the 36-yard line, and that'll be another Mahtomedi Zephyr first down, their 3rd of the game.
Clock stops with 3 seconds left, and they will now run it down. So that was the last play of the quarter.
So far, Jeff, each team has had 3 opportunities to possess the football. The difference, that 4-play touchdown drive that ended in the Harvey touchdown run.
On a short field.
So short field and turnover points, so critical today. We'll pause for just a few moments. Mahtomedi 7, Apple Valley 0. This is your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr football.
The thing that drives me every day as a dad is him. His real name is Darion, and we call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's affection, attention, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I think the advice I would give is you don't need to know all the answers. The craziest thing was believing that your dad knew everything. So as a dad, you felt like you had to know everything. You had to get everything right. It's okay to make mistakes. Just do it from the right place. As long as it's coming from love, then, it kind of starts to work itself out. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job. I'll say my kid's pretty dope.
1st and 10 for Mahtomedi, dropping back to pass, throwing here to the left-hand side. Open is Underwood, but overthrown was Underwood as well. 2nd down and 10. On the other side of our first quarter break with Jeff Disher, I'm Alex Westad. Mahtomedi leading Apple Valley by a score of 7-0 on a 1-yard touchdown rush by Jonathan Harvey. And for the first time today, we see the Zephyrs unleash that deep ball.
Ball on the 36-yard line as we go 2nd down and 2nd down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Mahtomedi in the I formation to start the play.
Underwood to the left, the receiver out to the right, as well as Walick. Whistle blows, flags fly, false start is the penalty call. That'll bring back the Zephyrs up 5. And that'll be the first forced penalty. So both teams so far, 1 penalty for 5 yards each that has been enforced. So 2nd and 15 due up for the Zephyrs.
Let me bring us back to full strength, if I may. 2nd and 15 for the Zephyrs. Expect the air to be seen.
So 2nd and 15. Again, so far the first half stats of note that we have. Apple Valley 1 for 4 on 3rd downs. Mahtomedi 0 for 1. Zephyrs with 3 first downs to Apple Valley's 2. First downs for the Eagles coming just on their first drive. Hull, the ball carrier, able to rush up the middle. He'll get down. Looks like they'll spot him at the 38-yard line. A gain of 3 on the play for Jordan Hull. Kilsa on the tackle for Apple Valley. And that'll bring up 3rd down for Mahtomedi.
3rd and 12 for Mahtomedi.
And with the weather potentially clearing, you can go to the air safely if you can secure the football in your hands.
I formation. Charles Brandt, the quarterback, has Rohr behind him. And then Hull in the backfield. Underwood to the left, and then Walick to the right. Dropping back to pass, a little bit of a bubble screen. Pass complete to Hull. Hull to the 30. Boom! Stick, baby, out of bounds. And that'll draw a flag there. Wonderful play by Hull. But if you're the Eagles, you cannot do that on the near side sideline.
As our good friend Emmerich says, a crowd gathered, and you saw the results of a little bit extra after the play. I would imagine double digits.
And with the spot of the ball too, if that flag doesn't happen, 4th down.
Exactly, 15-yard unnecessary roughness penalty, or personal foul, excuse me.
So the penalty will be the second of the game, enforced against Apple Valley. With the spot of the foul.
Great shoulder stiff. You can't really call that a stiff arm, could you?
It'd be tough to. I thought I just lowered the shoulder more than anything.
He did. You're right.
Fans of the Minnesota Vixen might recall Grace Cooper's shoulder at the game in Arlington back in June. Shades of Grace Cooper tonight. So the ball will be spotted after the foul at the 14-yard line. Receiver goes in motion here to the near side as Wallach. Hand off to Hull. Hull up the middle. Hits a couple of Eagles. First spins out of another tackle. And Jordan Hull continuing to churn and burn down to what will be the 8-yard line. The whistle will blow. He won't be down. I believe they blew the whistle for what appeared to be up a helmet off of Jordan Hull. So he'll have to come out for a play. Nice gain, though, on first down.
And Mahtomedi, with that 7-0 lead, can afford to have more options at their disposal with the run. Haven't seen that on the Apple Valley side, and I'll be anticipating Apple Valley's or what Apple Valley's defense does here.
So 5-yard gain for Hull. It'll bring up second down and 5 for the Zephyrs. Again into the game in the backfield, Jonathan Harvey. Pitch to Harvey to the right-hand side. This play worked so well the first time. They might try it a second time. It succeeds a second time. Touchdown, Jonathan Harvey, his second of the game. 9 yards in, capping off the 7-play drive, and the Zephyrs take a 2-score lead.
And that 2-score lead is because of players like Jonathan Harvey, who took it to the house there, and Apple Valley's mistakes on the offensive side that have effectively cost them points that they've left on the table.
So the offense working again. 2 drives for the Zephyrs, 2 short fields that have done really well, and they've taken advantage of those opportunities when presented.
And points off turnovers, key. And it may be a key that we weren't anticipating coming into play tonight.
Here's Heinz with the extra point. He's 1 for 1 so far, and he will be 2 for 2. I thought that it may have sailed a little bit high, but no, it is good. Don't want to discredit Mr. Heinz. So the drive summary for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, and a drive that took 7 plays for a total of 48 yards, and off the clock, a total of 2 minutes and 26 seconds for the 14-0 lead. So 2 touchdowns, not necessarily from the workhorse of Jordan Hull, but instead Jonathan Harvey.
I've got, you spotted yourself 60 seconds. I believe that's 1 minute and 26. Oh, 1 minute from the first quarter. We are good. However, Apple Valley, main point, Apple Valley needs to go to the air early in series, like we talked about late in the first quarter. You can't be waiting until 3rd or 4th or potentially 4th down to finally throw the ball in the air.
Let's talk about what's been the downfall of the Apple Valley Eagles so far tonight. First drive ended because of the interception.
Yes.
Second down, you were off the field. Personal foul penalty.
Yep.
Extended the drive, allowed that last touchdown to get scored. Needs to be a much cleaner game from the Eagles here on this drive.
And mistakes will cost you. We've seen that already with the 14 points that Mahtomedi has put up on the board.
Heinz to kick off for Mahtomedi. Again, Hoyter, Garrison, and Schlichting back deep to receive. It'll bounce once again into the end zone for another touchback. And the Apple Valley drive starts 1st and 10 from their own 20.
Now, as I keep saying, got to go to the air if you're Apple Valley with your quarterback, and maybe you go to a play fake. Maybe you pass right off, and you got to get something working if you're the Eagles. Time is not on your side right now, being down 2 scores.
10:34 remaining here, second quarter, 14-0. The Mahtomedi Zephyrs lead. Again, the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, a team dominant in their section. Section champions in 3 of the last 4 years. They have appeared in the section final every year since 2014. The majority of those here at George Smith Field. On the first down play, Connor Elliott on the ball carry ran into a head steam full of Zephyrs. Lost 1 on the play. Ball will be spotted at the 19, second down and 11.
Low snap led to that. You didn't have many options there.
So we talked a couple of times here, Jeff, about the Eagles thinking about airing the ball out. We haven't quite seen that.
No, and you're down to, and that's not to say we haven't wanted to see it, because we've wanted to see Apple Valley air it out.
Elliott the single back in a pistol set here. Wyatt awaiting the snap, 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. Makes a handoff to Elliott, the nice little screen there to Garrison. Garrison able to escape the first tackler, able to gain just a modest 3 yards there on that play. And a great tackle made by Harris defensively for Mahtomedi, and another 3rd down here for the Eagles. We saw the passing play, but not necessarily the long passes that we're looking for.
And you don't necessarily need a long pass down on the opposite end, or received on the opposite end of the field, but you need to avoid the short passes. I'd like to see more medium yardage passing if I'm Apple Valley.
3rd and 8 here for the Apple Valley Eagles. They are 1 for 4 so far on 3rd down. Wyatt escaping some pressure. He'll have to keep it himself. No, down he goes. Wonderful pursuit out of the backfield, and Harris comes over from the right-hand side, and another 3 and out for the Eagles.
Same song, same verse.
4th and 8 for the Eagles.
I would potentially mix it up and go for it here on 4th down if I'm Apple Valley. But you know that won't. But that's not going to necessarily happen.
So Rollinger and Woods will stand at their 44-yard line again, and after a first drive, the Eagles are able to amass 2 first downs on that drive. The difference so far is that the offense hasn't been clicking quite as it needs to here for the Eagles.
Correct.
So Elliott to punt. Again, standing at the 45-yard line on their own side are Woods and Rollinger.
Mahtomedi will have another short field.
Coming in motion here to left side. And we'll have another whistle and delay of game. So that'll back up the Eagles, and again, that'll move the returners for Mahtomedi onto the Apple Valley side of midfield. It'll be the 3rd penalty against Apple Valley for a total now of 25 yards. Mahtomedi so far just 1 penalty for 5 yards. Clock winds now, 7:54 and counting. Mahtomedi 14, Apple Valley 0. Elliott gets a snap. Another spiraling punt. It's a beauty. We fielded here by Woods. Woods cross midfield to the 50, taken down. And good pursuit there, but good job on Woods to keep the legs moving with Smith on the tackle defensively for Apple Valley. For Mahtomedi, after a 3 and out on their first drive of the first quarter, 2 straight rushing touchdowns by number 6, Jonathan Harvey. And the run game working well for Mahtomedi.
Now, with the run game working, we've seen where the good run game dictates the pass. Do you have the room to go to the air if you want to? If you're Mahtomedi, do you?
Well, we saw it on that first play of the last drive too, with Brandt looking for Underwood on the left side, just overthrowing him. On the left side now, though, is Brian.
I formation.
Spread out to the right there is Gary again. I formation once again. Rohrer and then Harvey in the backfield. Handoff is to Harvey to the right-hand side. Escapes a couple of tacklers to the 40, to the 35, down to the 30, and driven into the dirt there by Connor Elliott defensively, with a little assistance as well by the defensive tackler Cameron Hanna. And another Mahtomedi Zephyr first down, their 6th of this opening half.
Ball will be spotted at the 31-yard line here, but Mahtomedi not doing anything too tricky. They're going back to what has brought them to the dance, so to speak. And they're up 14-0 to show for it.
Gain of 14 on the rush by Harvey. Another I formation play. Rohrer and Harvey in the backfield. Now to the left, Brian. Pitch to Harvey to the left side to the 30. Able to get to the 25. Stays. No, just barely unable to keep that second foot from trailing out of bounds. So he'll gain down to the 23-yard line. It'll be gain of 8 on the play. Forced out of bounds as well by Carroll defensively for Apple Valley. 2nd down and 3.
Now, you know me well enough. You know what I would do here. Maybe take a chance. Maybe throw. You have the room. Take a chance. Take a shot at going up 3 scores. You don't need to necessarily be run happy if you're Mahtomedi at this point.
High formation again. Harvey on the fake end around, almost lost it. Has to fall on it as right in the face of Harvey. Augustus Garcia defensively for Apple Valley. No gain on the play. Actually, a slight gain. Looks like he got 1 on the play. Bring up 3rd and 2.
Potentially very, very generous, but you see the point I'm making about having all these short fields if you're Mahtomedi. you can afford, and a 14-0 lead, you can afford to take all these chances.
So 3rd and 1 officially here for Mahtomedi. Just one 3rd down play coming into this one that Mahtomedi has had so far in this game, unable to convert that first opportunity, but another short yardage situation like that first one, where we saw that rush that Apple Valley was able to stop. Perhaps we'll see a return to the rush here. High formation. Rohr and Harvey in the backfield, out to the right. Wallach here to the left-hand side will be Bryant. Brandt will send Wallach in motion to the right. Hand off to Harvey to the right side. Harvey able to create some space out to the right side to the 20, trying to gain that outside edge down to the 10. Inside the 10, stepped out of bounds at the 9. And another first down for Mahtomedi. Ball will be spotted at the 10, though, as the official stands right there.
Knocked out of bounds by Smith.
And Mahtomedi going back to the run. Not saying the Zephyrs are run heavy by any stretch of the imagination, but they know what has worked for them so early in the game, and they also know what Apple Valley has given them as well.
So 1st and goal here for Mahtomedi. As the clock stopped now, 6:31 remaining here.
Substitution stoppage.
Again, 5 plays now, 7 first downs for Mahtomedi. Their first 3rd down conversion of the game as well. High formation. Once again, Hull now into the backfield. Handoff is to Hull. Hull to the left side, creates some space. Bowls over a man, and he's in. Touchdown, Mahtomedi Zephyrs. And Jordan Hull with touchdowns a year ago, numbering 3 as his first in 2021.
3 plus 1 making 4 in the last season plus. But as we've stated all game, Mahtomedi just taking what has been offered to them, and Mahtomedi now up 20-0 with the extra point coming with 6:25 to play in the half.
So again, behind John for the extra point try. It's 2 for 2 so far. This drive summary, 5 plays for 45 yards, 1:16 off the clock, and Jordan Hull's first touchdown of the 2021 season. So here's Heinz, a right-footed kicker. Again, 2 for 2 so far. He'll look to drill the upright here. It is up, and it is good right down the middle. So the extra point is good. Heinz now 3 for 3 on extra point attempts. And after a 3-and-out on the opening drive for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, 3 very nice short field, however, drives for Mahtomedi that have given them this 21-0 lead.
And you've got to play what you are given. It's like I like to equate it like a golfer playing a ball where it lies. You've been given 3 short fields, you score 3 times. Points off short fields have proven to be advantageous for Mahtomedi.
Hello to Timmy Van Beck, watching from Apple Valley. And saying not to do his squadron. The last meeting again between these two teams, October 11th, 2019. Apple Valley, a team and a school historically laden with offensive and athletic talents. You talk about Timmy Van Beck, soccer goalie. You talk about Gabe Henderson, certainly, who won the gold medal in wrestling for the United States. You talk about the Jones brothers, formerly of the Timberwolves, formerly of Duke basketball. Apple Valley is a team loaded with athletic talent.
And in that last game in 2019, Noah Halmer for Apple Valley only threw 5 times, completed 4 for 46 yards.
So Heinz will kick off again. Again, Apple Valley looking for that success here in the game. Again, the 3-man triad back deep, looking to return. This one will once again bounce into the end zone. Another touchback. So Heinz with 3 kickoffs and 3 touchbacks. Certainly love to see that.
And Apple Valley from a longer field needs to put the ball in the air. And they needed to do that, we'll call it 3 possessions ago, if we are realistic.
So the first drive for Apple Valley, the longest of the game, tied for the longest of the game with either team with 7 plays. Beyond that drive, though, an interception, a 3-and-out, and a 3-and-out. What does Apple Valley need to do on this drive to be able to break that streak?
Throw the ball. And not on 3rd down either.
So 1st and 10 for Apple Valley from the 20-yard line. Gimafi in the backfield with the quarterback Wyatt. Waiting the snap here, sends a receiver in motion, is going to the left-hand side. It'll be Garrison on the faked end around. It is Garrison who's able to get to it, but unable to escape the tackle. Loss of 1 on the play. and escaping into the backfield for the tackle, Ryan Reagan, and Larson on the tackle for Mahtomedi. So
now,
loss of 1 on the play.
As you see the replay here, you can have a man. You can have a man in motion on the snap, as Apple Valley did apparently. Loss of 1 is what it gets you. Got to go to the air here if you're the Eagles. No excuse being down 21-0.
Wyatt, the quarterback again. Gemafi in the backfield, 2 receivers out to the right, as they'll have Hyder and Garrison here on the right-hand side. Dropping back to pass, Wyatt throwing the left side, pass is complete here again to Hyder. Hyder wrapped up, and wonderful tackling there by Will Underwood, as a gain of 4 on the play to the 23-yard line, and another 3rd down for Apple Valley.
And a great pass connection there to Howder on the short, or on the near side of the field. And with 3rd and 2, excuse me, Alex, 3rd and 2 yards to go, I dare say take a shot downfield.
Gain of 9 on the play on the reception by Ian Hodder, the 5'9", 155 junior. Plays both sides of the ball. They'll go pistol formation here on 3rd and 2. Eagles 1 for 5 on 3rd downs so far today. First conversion came on their first drive. They do not have one since. Wyatt, the quarterback, out of the pistol, trying to draw the blitz, and seeing that the blitz is coming, audibles to the play here. Gemafi with a nice spinning move to get out of the way, and able to convert that first down to the 36-yard line. A gain of 8 on the play, and a nice pursuit there, as in the backfield, Jonathan Harvey able to wrap up for the tackle, and a first down for Apple Valley.
The last time Mahtomedi brought the blitz, Apple Valley wasn't as keen to see it. They were there and adjusted, maybe audibled from a pass to a run up the middle, as we see 1st and 10 for the Eagles.
4:27 remaining here in this second quarter. Mahtomedi 21, Apple Valley 0. Wyatt, the quarterback, again has Gemafi in the backfield. Receivers here on the right-hand side, is Schlichting and Garrison. Actually not Garrison, it's Hyder. Gemafi running the right-hand side, spins out of a tackle, but holding on for that effort. Wonderful play by Ramsey Morrell. Defensively, to get back to the original line of scrimmage. Maybe a slight loss or a slight gain, because both linesmen are standing in completely different spots, as we'll have a whistle and a stoppage for a substitution, I believe, or what the officials thought were an injured player, with Gemafi coming up limping a little bit.
I believe that ball will be marked on the 30. I'll get the spot. They're going to stay the 36-yard line, so we got a yard. I believe not necessarily generous given the way Apple Valley has played, but 2nd down. I've said it all game. Go to the air.
2nd and 9 for Apple Valley. 3 first downs converted. Eagles now 2 for 6 on 3rd down. As they'll approach the line here again, pistol formation. Back into the game, Connor Elliott as the running back. Receiver here on the near side is Hyder, with 2 receivers out to the left. Waiting for the snap. Crowd continues to make some noise here on the left-hand side. Able to handle the snap there. Wyatt throws into the air. Incomplete. Was looking over the middle. Pass was intended, I believe, for Jaden Garrison, but overthrew him into almost quintuple coverage, as a number of Zephyrs back there. Nicholas Beersdorf, among them, and another 3rd down for Apple Valley.
I recall an NFL quarterback that played for 2 Midwestern teams that will go nameless, throwing into triple and quadruple coverage numerous times and getting the job done. And you know who I'm thinking of as well. But usually, and the point I'm trying to make, usually don't throw into triple coverage middle of the field.
2 for 6. Apple Valley on 3rd downs. They have 3rd and 9 from their own 36-yard line. Running back in the backfield is Elliott. Wyatt has on the near side. I have Garrison. Wyatt getting the snap, throwing again to the left-hand side, puts up a beautiful ball, passes in and out of the hands, and was intended at first for Hyder. Defensive coverage by Larson in the secondary. You may have had a hold on that far side, but ineffective to the play, so 4th down.
But Hyder also seemed to stop, and we'll watch the replay here to see if I'm correct. Hyder, no, he wasn't held as the ball got there. He just seemed to maybe potentially lose his footing, and he couldn't get to an opportunity where he could make a catch. Excuse me.
So we'll have punt formation again here for Apple Valley. It's Connor Elliott.
Elliott back to punt
We'll
for
have
the
it
Eagles.
this time just one man back deep. Gunnar Woods stands at his own 30-yard line. So a first down on that drive for the Eagles as they tie their longest drive of the game. Punt here for Elliott. Elliott has it fielded by Woods. Woods able to spin out of one tackle, then taken down at the 39-yard line. Noah Alberts on the tackle on special teams for the Eagles, and another drive upcoming for the Zephyrs.
Longest field, Alex Westad, that Mahtomedi has had all game. I recall 30-some yards and 40-some yards these last two possessions that have led to scores. And as we've regularly discussed and made it into a sort of theme, Mahtomedi can do more with more. They have a 21-point lead. They can afford to go into their playbook a little bit more.
Zephyrs started their first drive on the Apple Valley 38. All other drives have started on the Apple Valley side of midfield. On first down and 10, a nice run taken here by Corey Bomert to the left-hand side. Get to the 48-yard line, so a gain of 9 on first down. That'll set up second down and 1.
2nd and 2 for the Zephyrs.
And Mahtomedi are showcasing the rushing prowess of Bomert there, on that run near side.
So they moved him back a yard. Not quite the generous spot that the Zephyrs were looking for there, at least from our vantage point here in the press box. Second down and 2. Again, I formation whistle will blow. We'll have a timeout. It'll be taken by Apple Valley. And you see head coach there, Chad Clendenning, not necessarily liking what he saw. 3:04 remaining here in this half. That's Apple Valley's second timeout, 1 remaining. Zephyrs have all 3 of theirs. Mahtomedi 21, Apple Valley 0 with Jeff Disher and Mounts West End. And Jeff, coming into this one, these two teams don't play each other often. They play just once in recorded history from what we can tell. But combine them over the last 10 years in what we'll call the MN Football Hub era, they have a combined total of 8 state tournament appearances among them. But both of these teams a year ago, not necessarily up to their full potential. We've seen that over the last couple of years from the Zephyrs, where the defense hasn't necessarily been as strong as it's been, but we see consistency out of Mahtomedi every single year.
And that is something consistency is something we are not seeing out of Apple Valley. Now, going back to previous years, would the disruptions have had something to do with that?
Second down and 2 here for Mahtomedi from their own 47-yard line. I formation once again. Dropping back to pass, throwing to the left side, looking to try to find Wallach. Passes in and out of the hands. Great defensive coverage by Timothy Wyant, the quarterback. Not Wyant, it's Dwayne Smith rather, defensively in coverage for Apple Valley. Again, we've only seen Mahtomedi air that deep ball out twice here so far, but another really nice pass here.
Great pass, almost had a step. Did Mahtomedi receiver Quinn Wallach on the play, and if he had a step, he may have been able to make that catch.
When he talked to about Dwayne Smith, perfect coverage too.
Yes.
Look at where the receiver's going, just put your hands up, right? Get in the way. So third down and 2.
Look at the ball too.
And up at the middle, Gomer. Gomer able to get across midfield before he's driven back by Hayden Hansen for Apple Valley. They'll give him forward progress to the Apple Valley 48 and another Zephyr first down.
And now Apple Valley, 1 timeout left in the quarter. I would not use it here. However, Mahtomedi driving, and Apple Valley needs a defensive stop in the worst way.
So first and 10 for Mahtomedi from the Apple Valley 48-yard line, 2:39 and counting here in the second quarter of play. Faking the handoff, rolling out to the right-hand side is Brandt. Brandt able to keep the legs moving, trying to escape one tackler. He'll be driven down to around the 40-yard line. Looks like they'll give him the spot to the 40 on the whole, the 40-yard line. So a gain of 7 on the play, actually 8 on the play. Another second down and short, and that's what's worked for Mahtomedi. They've got a lot of those short yardage situations here tonight.
But Mahtomedi also has more of the playbook to work with than does Apple Valley. You see it there with that 8-yard run leading to 2nd and 2 and 2 minutes left in the quarter.
Operating from the right side of the hash, they have 2 receivers here on the left side, Brian as well as Wallach. Under center, Brandt, 2nd and 2.
Running play here.
On the pitch to the right-hand side, able to get around there. One, Bomer. Bomer still going to the outside. One man to beat, unable to do so before he's tackled inbounds. And what a change of pace back we've seen here out of number 22, the junior Corey Bomer.
You can look at my facial expression right now, Mr. Westad, and it would be a jaw dropping to the floor. Because I haven't seen Mahtomedi's running potential out of Bomert as he makes the run to inside the 10-yard line for 1st and goal to go, 8-yard line, excuse me, 1st and goal to go.
Gain of 32 on the play. 1st and goal, another 1st and goal here for Mahtomedi. High formation again. Gomert as he single back. Handoff is to Gomert to the left-hand side. Met and driven back. Wonderful tackle by Augustus Garcia. And we'll have a whistle as Mahtomedi should be taking their first time out of this half, and they will with 1:37. But Garcia responding with a wonderful tackle for the Eagles.
And Apple Valley not necessarily responding on the defensive side of the ball, much to what we've seen all night. And so it'll be interesting to see what steps the Eagles take to give us some semblance of a goal line defense.
So for Mahtomedi, the story so far, a punt on their first drive, an interception, a 3-and-out, and a 3-and-out. For the Zephyrs, they started with a 3-and-out, but 3 consecutive drives have yielded 3 consecutive touchdowns. 2 coming through the legs of Jonathan Harvey, and the 3rd coming through the legs of Jordan Hull, where the long ball hasn't been there, but the running game has been, as we've seen with Dave Metzel coached teams, consistent as always.
And as you have 2nd and goal from the 9-yard line, go back to what brought you to the dance, Alex. Go to the run if you're Mahtomedi and see if you can drive your way past the goal line for points 27 and 28.
So a 1-yard loss on the first down play for Gomer. It'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 9. High formation again. Gomer in the backfield, has Rohrer in front of him. See if he follows him. No, they'll throw. Looking here to the left-hand side. Underwood is open and incomplete, out of bounds. Beautiful pass from Brandt, but just a little bit out of bounds, and a 3rd down.
Now, impressive play from Underwood to get that ball off. But the receiver there knew where he was, or had blanket coverage, as you see here. Right on the sideline, he caught that ball, but it was just out of bounds as Underwood nearly made that catch in bounds.
Apple Valley students making some noise on the left-hand side. A little bit of a miscue play there as Brandt trying to escape pressure, still spinning out of a tackle, but not any further. Loss of a couple on the play. It'll be a loss of 2 as getting back in there first and breaking that play up. Andrew Chetta defensively for Apple Valley. 4th down. And we'll see what they have to do here. We know Heinz can kick, but we haven't seen a 4th down yet. Maybe the Zephyrs choose to go for it.
And nothing cheesy from Chetta on that 3rd down play. Had to go there. However, Apple Valley Mahtomedi may be content taking the points.
So it's 4th and 11. Ball is on the 11. Heinz's range, we've seen him 3 for 3 on point after attempts. No field goals attempted a year ago for Mahtomedi. So right now, with the spacing out, you're looking at about a 28-yard field goal.
If they choose to take it. I don't believe you have a play clock.
And we have the whistle that will blow. Zephyrs will take their 2nd timeout. They have one remaining. Clock stops 32.7. There is a play clock that is occurring in high school football, but it is not something that is shown.
So it's kept in the field?
Yes, it's kept by the back judge on the field, and the cue typically is the hand up with 5 seconds left. So that way the players know when that play clock is expiring. So the clock will stop 32.7 seconds here. Zephyrs leading 21-0 with Jeff Disher. I'm Alex Westhead. Upcoming on our SEC Sports calendar as we get the broadcast year started, we'll have volleyball on Thursday, Simley at Tartan, then a soccer doubleheader. We'll switch roles, me and Jeff. Jeff will be on the play-by-play. I'll be on the color as Eastridge will take on the White Bear Lake Bears. Then football 2 weeks from today, Mountains View at White Bear Lake. Bears with a tough luck loss against Blaine last night, 23-21. The game-winning field goal kicked by Kendall Stadden, a member from the girls' soccer team, to give the Blaine Bengals that win last night. Speaking of field goals, here's Heinz. Joseph Heinz, the 6'1", 160 senior, on to attempt the extra point. Not the extra point, the field goal, excuse me. It'll be 28 yards out from the left side hash. Snap, spot, kick is up, and kick is good. And with that, the field goal converted, and that'll make it a 24-0 lead for the Zephyrs.
See, everyone would forgive you for thinking that field goal was a point after, because of the way Mahtomedi has played offensively. And with 27.9 seconds to play in the first half, Apple Valley have enough time, in your estimation, to air it out? And I'm not talking short knocker passes like we've seen all game. Do they air it out deep and beyond?
Short answer is no. I don't think so. I think they'll take a knee, do some running plays, and work its way into halftime. Scoring summary for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs: 9 plays, longest drive of the game for either team in terms of plays. They went a total of 61 yards and took a steamy 3 minutes and 30 seconds off the clock. No, correction, 2 minutes and 32 seconds off the clock with the Heinz 28-yard field goal. So Heinz to kick it off again, the triad, which has changed a little bit in the return game here for the Apple Valley Eagles. Garrison, Hansen, and then on the far side, Heider. Kick is up, and once again, Heinz will find the end zone for the touchback. So Apple Valley with just 27.9 seconds, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
1st and 10 for the Eagles.
I feel as though Apple Valley getting into field goal range with a series of medium yardage passes would be good for the confidence as they would go into halftime. But that remains to be seen if they follow through with what we are witnessing.
In a streak that I'm sure is concerning for Apple Valley coaching staff, if we look a year ago, in 6 games played in 2020, the Apple Valley Eagles scored 0 second quarter points. Barring a drive here, which nets points, that streak will continue here into 2021. And off again, nice spin move made there, but down he goes as Gimafi tackled in the backfield by William Arlenson. On 1st down, it'll be a loss of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 11.
Might be the last play of the quarter too, Mr. Westad, and same song, same verse for Apple Valley.
Now again, Arlenson, one of the returning leading tacklers. He had 5 tackles a season ago. The clock will wind now, zeros. The horn will sound here at George Smith Field. And for the faithful in blue and yellow, more of the same of what they're used to seeing out of their Mahtomedi Zephyrs.
And more of the same as we head into the second half.
So for the Apple Valley Eagles, again, we saw that first drive that worked so well. Those passes to the right side, those quick little hitters between a couple of different people. As the quarterback, what we saw worked so well for Timothy Wyant, that connection with Jaden Garrison. We saw it on that first drive. We saw the attempts at it on the subsequent drives, but just a little bit off on those passes. If Apple Valley can fix it up, I think they're going to be in a good spot for the rest of the game.
And you need to fix the defensive miscues, but also you need offense. Now that the weather has abated, go to the air. Do things that you weren't doing in the first 3, 4, 5 minutes of the game by relying on by going away from relying on the run and get, I don't know what the term would be, pass happy.
He's Jeff Disher. I'm Alex Westad. Score at the half, Mahtomedi 24, Apple Valley 0. We'll step aside for about 5 minutes. We'll be back for some halftime stats and conversation. This is your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr football.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, Mason.
Hey, Mason.
Got a new house. It's looking pretty cool so far.
A place that I call home.
I'm teaching Louise how to cook some lasagna.
It only takes a spark to make a fire. based on
The judge. Thank you.
Study, please.
I think I finally found a place to make my own. A place that I call home. This place that I call home.
Right here, baby. Look. Uma.
Something more than a birthday is happening here. Once you can see it, you can help. The sooner you recognize the signs of autism, the sooner you can make a lifetime of difference for your child. Start by answering a few simple questions at screenforautism.org.
COVID-19 has changed how we hang with our girls. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to girls tripping instead of solo sipping. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Should I get it?
Is it safe?
Should I wait?
It's smart to question. Now get the facts at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision when vaccines are available to you.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With aceyourretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, the friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back.
Woohoo! Gnarly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to aceyourretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's aceyourretirement.org.
When I left the military, I was excited for a fresh start, but civilian life has been harder than I thought it would be. Figuring out a new career while also being a good mom, wife, and friend. Some days I'm barely keeping my head above water.
Go to your room!
To get back to enjoying life again, I needed to get help. Discover how other women veterans like me have learned to thrive after military service by taking care of themselves and their mental health. Visit maketheconnection.net/womenveterans.
When we walk, when we reach, when we play, we're moving through life. But an estimated 80% of Americans aren't getting their recommended daily amount of physical activity. It's time to move and keep moving, America. And when you need help, physical therapists and physical therapist assistants are by your side. Because we are meant to climb, to dance, to soar, to thrive. Choose to move. Choose physical therapy.
After being diagnosed with Parkinson's disease and losing her job due to treatment, Liz received a housing voucher, but was denied housing when she tried to use it.
It was shocking to me that people discriminated against you for the type of income you were utilizing to pay your rent.
Do you use non-wage income such as disability benefits or Section 8 vouchers to pay for housing? A new law in New York State makes it illegal to be denied housing based on your source of income. If you suspect discrimination, visit endincomebiasny.com.
Look!
911, where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
The Zephyrs have waited a long time to take to the field again back here at George Smith Field, and the patience has paid off as the Zephyrs lead at the half by a score of 24-0 over the Apple Valley Eagles. With Jeff Disher, I am Alex Westhead, and Jeff, the big storyline. We look at a couple of different things here from the first half. First, Apple Valley miscues. Second, a defense that has had a really tough time stopping the Mahtomedi Zephyr run.
And you could throw those two game stories together into one. And the defensive miscues have led to all 24 Mahtomedi points that you see on the board, but Apple Valley has quite literally nothing to show for it.
Hello to the 103 of you currently watching on YouTube.com and our Suburban Community Channel's YouTube page. We hope you're enjoying tonight's coverage. Feel free to subscribe and hit the bell to get the notifications for when we post new videos and when we go live. Both teams, Jeff, in the first drive that they had in the first quarter resulted in a punt and a 3-and-out for Apple Valley and Mahtomedi respectively. But then, interception by Apple Valley on their second drive led to what you see on your screen, what we've seen so far tonight. 2 rushing touchdowns by Jonathan Harvey, who a viewer on YouTube, 123, says that he looks like he should be the starting running back for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, and you certainly could argue that. And then a touchdown run as well by Jordan Hull defensively, as you see on your screen now, and a field goal as well by Joseph Heinz, the difference maker so far. The running game for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs has been so effective tonight. What's made it work?
Well, the short fields have made it work, and when we reference the short fields, we reference the mistakes that Apple Valley has made on the defensive side that has allowed Mahtomedi to take advantage on scoring 3 touchdowns and the additional field goal.
As the Zephyr Hall of Fame being recognized here at George Smith Field on the campus of Mahtomedi High School, St. Andrew's Lutheran Church in the background behind us. 2 things make a difference. Again, the interception by the quarterback Timothy Wyatt earlier, as again you see the out-of-town scoreboards in this division. The big one that you see there on your screen, Tartan and Two Rivers in action at Mendota Heights on Thursday, 29-22. The Titans over the Warriors, I believe they're still called. And the other side, Hill Murray and Holy Angels at the Academy of Holy Angels in Richfield, 27-21 victory for the Stars in that one. And then right now at the half in the Valley at South St. Paul, 3-0, the Cadets over the Packers. But then also on the third drive for Mahtomedi, the chance to get off the field, but the late hit, the personal foul that was well past the field of play, just made a huge difference in allowing that drive to extend and resulting in that second touchdown.
And it resulted in an additional miscue for Apple Valley, like we have mentioned at length all game long. Apple Valley's mistakes defensively have directly led to the 24 points that Mahtomedi have on the board.
The Mahtomedi Hall of Fame, as you take a look here again at the standings from a year ago, Mahtomedi 5-1, 2-0 in the 2020 Suburban Gray standings. You see there again Tartan at the top of the table, Hill Murray, Simley, and North and South St. Paul rounding out the bottom of those standings. Mahtomedi again, conference or section championship appearances consecutively since 2014. Champions in 3 of the last 4 years here in this section. The redesign to how these sections go in 5A has fared well for Mahtomedi, and I think that if you look at the section now, I think Tartan or Hill Murray will be somebody who Mahtomedi will likely be facing off when we get to November.
And I dare say the road to sections and beyond would go through either Tartan or Hill Murray for a team like Mahtomedi. And success now will lead to success later on down the road.
On the other side, for the Apple Valley Eagles, you look at that conference, and at the bottom, a lot of teams that are right in that average range, but at the top, when you have a team that is as consistent as St. Thomas Academy is in continuing to beat teams left and right, and they certainly are in the top 10 in Class 5A, unfortunately not available yet in this young season, but the Cadets certainly seem to be the going force in the Suburban Maroon in Class 5A.
And that will be an interesting conference to watch going forward throughout the fall. So I'm interested to see how St. Thomas continues to respond as far as the Suburban Maroon goes.
Upcoming schedules for these two teams as well, as again, the football season starts out, 8 games in the regular season. Next 3 opponents for Mahtomedi are going to be very difficult, as they will have coming up here on a week from today, Cretin-Durham Hall making the jump down from 6A to 5A. That'll be here at home. And then 2 very difficult road tests at Hill Murray on the 17th and at Tartan coming up. And again, you see that Hill Murray game, that's a time change. That'll be on the 18th at 12 p.m. at Mary Queen of Victory Stadium. And again, the game at Tartan on 7. We'll have that one for you here on SCC TV. On the other side, the Apple Valley Eagles will not be home for a little bit as well, as they'll be at the Hastings Raiders and at Bloomington Jefferson, their next 2 contests. They'll have a game at home on 9/24. That'll be their home opener against Cretin-Durham Hall. And note that 6 p.m. start at Robbinsdale Armstrong on October the 8th. Otherwise, St. Thomas Academy, Irondale, 2 Rivers, rounding out the schedule for the Apple Valley Eagles. And very difficult, but always fun, always intriguing Minnesota State High School League football season. The class of 2020 and 2021 for the Zephyr Hall of Fame: Laura Mae Dregson, Michael Greeter, Fred Harris, and Hedine Sullivan, Ben Sobieski, Mike Mazer, Kristen Driscoll, Jim and Judy Deans, Amy Paulson Lorenz, David Greeter, and that, of course, the Hall of Fame for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. We love to be able to recognize and honor these people who have had such an impact here on the east side of White Bear Lake.
In the bars, and in 1985, she was state champion in the bars and vault.
Zephyrs will start the second half on offense as they'll await the second half kick. They won the toss. They have deferred. At the half, Mahtomedi 24, Apple Valley 0. This is your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr football.
The Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. is the place that our nation has set aside for Vietnam veterans. The Vietnam Veterans Memorial Fund, the nonprofit organization that built the wall, works to ensure the long-term care and preservation of the memorial site, including the wall, the 3 servicemen statue, and the in-memory plaque. The Memorial Fund adds names when they're authorized and updates status symbols when are missing or recovered. We provide for publishing the name directories, clean the statue and plaque, plant new bushes, and install lighting systems. The Memorial Fund's efforts will ensure a long future for this integral part of our nation's history. This memorial must continue to stand, so their service and sacrifice is never forgotten. Help us keep the promise the wall was built on. Never forget. Visit vvmf.org to find out how you can help.
When times get dark, we can't see the help that's all around us. When you don't know where to turn, let 211 be your guiding light.
How can I help you?
Our guides are ready to connect you with the help you need. For help with food, healthcare, mental health, and other resources, call 211 or visit 211.org. 211. Get connected, get help.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Hey guys, today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Give kisses. Give kisses. Look. Give kisses. Give kisses. how loud that was.
I know, I
stick to
heard.
that.
I heard. It wasn't you. It was the.
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Bacon.
You see certain things get reincarnated in your children. My daughter is very much inspired by my wife's artistic pursuits. So my daughter started making necklaces. She makes what we call affirmation fashion. I tell her every day that your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. Your black is beautiful. And if there's anything better than being beautiful, it's being smart. And if there's anything better than being smart, it's being kind. And reaffirming that every day is our method of making sure her chin never drops. My dad wasn't around, and I remember riding a bike and falling off and cutting myself, and me never just wanting to get back on it. People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you did. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
This is the sound of confidence soaring.
Our mission is to educate, inspire, and honor.
This is the sound of honor roaring.
We should never, never forget those that gave their lives.
This is the sound of a generation rising above.
337 for Bravo Box Papa. We want to be involved in the education of young people so that they can take our aircraft and the stories that our pilots tell and realize their own dreams.
The Commemorative Air Force honors the heroes of yesterday while educating and inspiring the heroes of tomorrow.
Your future and how you live your life is dependent on how you think.
You can learn more at commemorativeairforce.org right now.
Looking on the other side of the second half, Zephyrs will start the second half with offense and with the football. As at the half, the score, Mahtomedi 24 and the Apple Valley Eagles 0. On cameras tonight, Kenny Ronan, Steven Adams, and Chris Stotzman in the truck. David Schuyler and Arlen Becker. And up top with Jeff Disher, I am Alex Wested. And Jeff, we've seen, again, Mahtomedi do what they do best, control the game at home.
And that control started from the second drive of the game. I believe that Mahtomedi's first drive of the contest was a 3-and-out, which led to a punt. And the Zephyrs have been in control ever since.
For Mahtomedi and for Apple Valley, we've seen across the Minnesota State High School League landscape, we've seen conference changes, and changes of opponents happen very frequently. When we look at what you see here in the Suburban Gray, there's one notable absence, that of the North Polars, as they've moved from the Suburban Gray to the Twin City Maroon. But otherwise, on this east side of the Twin Cities, common opponents for Mahtomedi.
And that could lead to good things later in the year if tiebreakers, per se, play themselves out.
As the Apple Valley Eagles return to the field, they'll have 3 more additional minutes here and in the Maroon in Apple Valley's conference. Again, change out Park of Cottage Grove in the Wolfpack for Cretin-Durham Hall as Park moved from the Metro Maroon South. And Cretin-Durham Hall going from 6A to 5A. Trey Holloman, a star wide receiver in the making for the Cretin-Durham Hall Raiders. But Cretin-Durham Hall hopes to be back up at the 6A level in the not-too-distant future.
Good move for Cretin-Durham Hall, in your opinion?
I think at the time, yes. The Raiders are not necessarily the powerhouse that they were in the 2000s and in the early part of the 2010s. But I think when you have that history in that program and you're going to recruit the best athletes to come and play for your school, for the education, of course, I think that's going to be something that's going to bring Cretin-Durham Hall back to 6A before too long.
And the prominence that they saw in the 2000s as we are getting ready for the start of the third quarter. You see yours truly, Jeff Disher, Alex Westad behind a window. There's his hand. And with Mahtomedi up 24-0, Alex, do you do anything different than what you've already done? I think not.
No, it's tough to say that you would change from what's working for you. And for Mahtomedi, it's been that run game that's worked so well as the chant game. Both the Apple Valley students and the Mahtomedi students have gone with the tropical Hawaiian theme tonight as we've drifted now under 60 degrees. Taking a look at the out-of-town scoreboard here quickly in the Twin Cities Week 1. John Millier with a wonderful picture of the press box in St. Paul as they appear to have gotten some sort of a electronic mechanical lift to create a press box as St. Paul Harding leads Como Park 19-8. Park Center 17-0 over Bloomington Kennedy at the half. Elk River 20-7 over their opponent. Mounds U 10-3 over Totino Grace. And Cooper leading Orono, Robbinsdale Cooper 21-14. And halftime at St. Thomas Academy 3-0 over South St. Paul and our friends over there at Town Square Television. First half highlights here on this Friday night. It started on the second drive with a wonderful rushing touchdown for Jonathan Harvey to the right-hand side, just for 1 yard, as he was able to find his way into the end zone. But guess what? Harvey would do it again on the next drive as a pitch to the right-hand side, a play that's worked well for the Zephyrs this evening. And Harvey from 9 yards out, able to find his way into the end zone. Quick little stutter step, a stiff arm there for the extra measure, and that made it 14-0 with the extra point. Jordan Hull, the leading returning rusher for this Mahtomedi Zephyr team, would find his way into the end zone as well with a nice little touchdown run of his own from 11 yards out as he was able to make it a 21-0 game. And then the final score of the first half for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, Joseph Heinch with a 28-yard field goal that gave the Zephyrs this 24-0 lead.
Hull and Harvey, the straws that stirred the drink for Mahtomedi, in my opinion. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough to argue that really any way that you slice it for Mahtomedi. The running backs are going to be the key to the game, not just necessarily here against Apple Valley, but in the upcoming games as well, because just a couple of different things where they just worked so well. And then even a change of pace back, too, like we saw with Corey Bowmark, who just did so much good things out of the backfield. Of course, we don't have a statistician with us on staff, but the combined rushing of those three players has to be somewhere around 150 yards, if not more than. And again, the coaching staffs, both coaches from similar backgrounds. Chad Clendenning again, his 9th season FIAD teacher at Apple Valley, Augsburg College of 92, and assistant coach since 2000. On the other side, there's Dave Metzel. We happened to do an interview with him for Coach's Corner about 4 years ago now in 2017 in his 15th season of math teacher at Mahtomedi High School. And Gustavus Adolphus Gusty, also class of 92, an assistant coach here in Mahtomedi since the year 1993. And 103-49 all time as coach of the Zephyrs.
I was just going to say, look at that record as the Zephyr head coach has won 103 games in 152 tries. And it looks like it'll be a win 104 if Mahtomedi keeps playing the way they have been.
Hello to the 132 of you currently watching on YouTube. Let us know where you're watching from. Feel free to chime in to the course of the broadcast here tonight. The Zephyrs will return a 3-return backfield. This is something that when PA announced White Bear and Blaine yesterday, it's not something that I saw. Normally you just see the 2 back, but both of these teams employing that 3-man return team so far tonight.
Keep in mind, Mahtomedi deferred at the opening kick.
Here to field it here on the return, Gunnar Woods. Woods with a head of steam up to the 30 before he's taken down by a number of Eagles. We'll see if they give him the spot to the 33. That's where they will spot it. And Mahtomedi will start 1st and 10 from their own 33-yard line on another nice return from Woods. Whether it's punting or kick returns, Mr. Woods has it.
And you see the end of the run here as he gets to the 33-yard line, they'll call it. 1st and 10 for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, who are looking to continue the goodness.
In the first half for Mahtomedi, 9 first downs, 2 for 4 on 3rd down. And their drives, all except for 2, started on Apple Valley's side of midfield. On 1st and 10, handoff here is to Hull. Hull up the middle as he's forced down by a number of Zephyrs in there defensively. Michael Woods for Apple Valley. He got down to the 42-yard line, so that'll be a gain, correction, not the 42, the 37-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 on 1st down, 2nd and 6 upcoming.
As you see Hull here at the end of the run making sure that he had possession of the football, the Eagles gathered maybe to suggest that Hull had lost the football momentarily. He did not.
2nd and 7 for Mahtomedi from their own 37-yard line. I formation again, Rohrer, and then Hull in the backfield. Pitch to the left-hand side is Hull. Hull trying to get to the outside edge, able to cross the 40 down to the 50, across midfield before being forced out of bounds, and a nice effort there by Jaden Garrison out of the defensive back position, and another Zephyr first down.
Hull, the straw stirring the drink here in the first minute for Mahtomedi as you see the pitch and the run off center by Hull to the left side.
It'll be a gain of 15 on that play across midfield to the Apple Valley 48-yard line. First down of the second half for Mahtomedi, 10 now overall in the game. 1st and 10 from the 48. 2 receivers out here to the right side. 1 tight end on the left side. Rohrer again, the fullback. Handoff is to Hull. Hull breaks through ahead of steam and cuts it back to the left side. Flag comes flying in. So Hull will work his way into the end zone for a touchdown, but the question becomes, what is the flag?
Depending on where the flag is, I could see, looks tempted to call offensive holding and see this come back based on where the flag is located.
And the head official waving for everybody to come on back, and Mr. Disher is correct. It is a holding penalty, and perhaps that's what created such a large hole for Jordan Hull to be able to run through. Nice run by the young man, but all for now.
You can't do that chant coming from the Apple Valley side of the field.
I made the comment last night to the folks in the PA booth over at White Bear Stadium of the number of times in which, and I'm sure Keith Newman, basketball coach for the Zephyrs here as well, of the number of times that we've heard the words, "You can't do that," chanted at a high school sporting event. And if we received $1 for every time that happened, financially, I think we would all be much better off.
Correct.
So the ball back on the other side of midfield. Hull on the carry. Gain of 1 on the play as he headed into the open arms of some Apple Valley Eagles. As the ball will be spotted now down to the 43-yard line. 2nd down long now.
And Apple Valley making the adjustment after giving up the big play that came back courtesy of the holding call. We'll see if that continues.
So 2nd and 19. Due up here for Mahtomedi. They have not had very many long yardage downs so far here today. So 2nd and 19. Again, they'll go I formation, Rohrer, and then Hull in the backfield here on the right-hand side. They'll have Bryan, and then on the near side, closest Wallach. 2nd and 19. Dropping back to passes Brandt. Brandt rolling on unable to, that's a dangerous pass, but it's caught by Hull before blown up. Wonderful pressure by Jaden Garrison. Dangerous throw, though, from Charles Brandt. Hull bails him out just a little bit.
And you know what made that dangerous? Losing his footing. As you see Brandt lose his footing before getting the pass off. That goes down as a completed pass, but you lose passing yardage.
Incredible athleticism, too. He was parallel to the turf and was able to get a throw off. So a loss of 4 on the play sets up a 3rd down with the yard to gain, the Apple Valley 38-yard line. So almost 23 yards, actually 23 yards on the dot to go for a 1st down. Dropping back to pass, Brandt throws in a little bubble screen, able to get it here to Haddon. All the way to the left side, breaking through 1 tackle before wonderful pursuit by number 5, Connor Elliott. Back to the original line of scrimmage at the Apple Valley 48. And for just the 2nd time tonight, the Zephyrs will be forced to punt.
And you'll see a long field most assuredly for Apple Valley to work with. But good things happening for Apple Valley on the defensive side on that drive. And that's courtesy of the holding penalty that brought the potential for the touchdown back.
So Apple Valley will get their first chance on offense. Zephyrs now 2 for 5 on 3rd downs. They were 2 for 4 in the first half of play. Just the 2nd time punting today for Mahtomedi.
High snap.
There's a left-footed kick spiraling. Wonderful spiral that'll bounce, take another Zephyr roll, continuing to roll down inside of the 10-yard line, still rolling down to the 5 as you see Woods there trying to force some air to get that ball rolling just a little bit further. It cannot. It'll be down by the Zephyrs at the 5, and Apple Valley will take over 1st and 10 from there.
Now, I've done a little bit of thinking as that punt, or as that ball was in the air on the punt, high snap as you see. Does Apple Valley go to the screen game to potentially get something working?
Well, you certainly wonder as well. As we take a look at Apple Valley's drives. Aside from the first drive, each of the 5 subsequent drives for the Eagles began at the 20-yard line. And the first drive of the game started at the 14. So one would tend to think that as the other drives did not yield many yards, first drive did for Apple Valley, so perhaps not starting at the 20 makes things just a little different.
It's the little things, is it not?
Apple Valley in the first half, 3 penalties for 25 yards, 3 first downs, and on third down, 2 for 7. In their third down opportunities, they'll have it here first, and the ball spotted now at the 3-yard line. Not quite sure why. Perhaps there was a penalty in there that we missed, because the ball was down at the 5.
Apparently a half-distance penalty of some sort.
Keith Newman, again, always being so helpful to us here in SEC land. A personal foul called against Apple Valley. That backs him up on a half the distance to the goal. Thank you, Mr. Newman. So officially, that'll bring up the 4th penalty now for Apple Valley. 4 penalties for 27 yards. 1st and 10, Wyatt, the quarterback again. On the handoff to the right-hand side. Nice play, spin out of traffic. Looks like he got just 2 on that one as number 23, Jesse Gimafi. The 5'8", 204 senior for the Apple Valley Eagles picks up a modest gain on first down. It'll bring up 2nd and 8.
And Apple Valley going back to the run like we saw in the first half. Will be and they go to the run to give themselves room to operate.
Officially 2nd and 7 for Apple Valley. The ball spotted on the 5-yard line. Wyatt, the quarterback, again has Gimafi in the backfield to his left. Further out to the left is the wide receiver Garrison. On the snap, Wyatt, quarterback keeper, design play, gets through one tackle, gets through another, going to the outside as he steps out of bounds near the 8-yard line. We'll see where they spot it, as the near side official will step it off at the 9. So a gain of 4 yards on that play, and another third down here for Apple Valley.
I believe the credo would be double the pleasure, double the run, or double the fun. 2-yard run, the play before, 4-yard run here, putting the ball at the 9-yard line.
So first chance on third down here for Apple Valley. It's 3rd and 4. The line to gain is the 13-yard line, so it's actually 3rd and 3 here. Wyatt, the quarterback, out of the shotgun, has one running back to his right, Gimafi. Here on the left-hand side, as well receivers Schlichting and number 1, Hoyter. Again, Wyatt on the quarterback keeper, rolling out to the right side, able to get out of pressure briefly before being tackled. Zephyrs thought that the ball was out, but Wyatt able to get back to what I thought was a line of scrimmage, but it looks like it might be a slight loss, and a 3-and-out for Apple Valley on their first drive of the second half.
And I don't think he got back at all. It's because it's 4th and 5 at the 7, so he lost the yardage, lost 2.
Loss of 2 on the play, and so the Apple Valley Eagles will be forced to punt here.
I would send all 5 men, I would send all 9 men, for Mahtomedi at the punter, seeing as you've got your punter in the end zone.
Elliott's punt with a nice amount of backspin here that'll roll out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. It'll be somewhere in the range of the 20 to the 30 as the official on the far side will step it off, and he will come to a stop just on the 20. Nope, still going. Where is it going? There he goes, all the way back now to the 23, 22-yard line. So a punt for a net gain of 15, and Mahtomedi will start their second drive of the second half just outside of the red zone.
And that ball was not shanked at all. He got good leather, or a good boot to it. Ball on the 22-yard line, as you said, Alex. Mahtomedi, assured points.
So 1st and 10 for Mahtomedi from the Apple Valley 22-yard line. Brandt on the handoff, gave it to the running back, Jonathan Harvey, with a pair of touchdowns on the evening, gained to the 18-yard line. So a gain of 4. Elliott on the tackle defensively for Apple Valley, 2nd down and 6.
Hull and Harvey, the straws stirring the drink from Mahtomedi, and you're seeing it come to the fore as Mahtomedi executes a running play, first play of the series.
Clock continues to wind now, 6:20 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. Mahtomedi 24, Apple Valley 0. We mentioned in each of the 4 losses for Apple Valley a year ago, held scoreless in those 4 losses. Hand off to the big man, Roarer, able to get down to the 15-yard line, may have extended to the 14. Ball will be spotted at the 14, and Elliott on the tackle for Apple Valley. So a gain there of 4 on the 2nd and 6. It's set up by 3rd down and 2.
3rd down and 2 here. I see Roarer taking the ball again on a potential handoff with the short yardage situation.
Just the first run of the game for the fullback, Roarer. Here's 3rd and 2. Mahtomedi now is 2 for 5 on 3rd downs in this game. Brandt, handoff here. Up the middle to Harvey. Harvey down to the 12-yard line. Should be good enough for the 1st down. The officials have not yet signaled that the chains should move. And as of yet, the clock is stopped. And the clock will stop, so that should be
they're going to bring out the chain
for measurement.
Oop, they're going to,
nope, they do give it the 1st down.
Harvey's carry good for another Mahtomedi.
Interesting. You and I were both thinking the chains would come out.
Certainly close enough to it, and the officials have the ability to make that decision, whether they choose to or not, and they've chosen not to, so the Zephyrs will have it as another 1st down. So 1st down again for the Zephyrs, their 2nd 1st down here of the 2nd half. Now 11 1st downs in the game for Mahtomedi. As a quarterback, Charles Brandt, 6'0" and 180, the sophomore quarterback for the Zephyrs. Roaring in the backfield, the pitch, the right side, Harvey. Harvey cutting it back to the middle and wrapped up defensively by a couple of Eagles. Cameron Hanna got to him first, as well as assisted by Augustus Garcia. That'll bring up 2nd down after a gain of 3.
Modest gain from Harvey on that run before he's dragged down at about the 10-yard line.
Gain of 2 on the play instead of 3, so it'll be 2nd and 8.
Player coming off for Apple Valley was Hanna.
So Cameron Hanna, the 6'6", 281 junior, will be off the field momentarily. I formation again here on 2nd and 8. Brandt under center, bobbles the snap, falls on it, and a good job by the sophomore quarterback to just fall on that football as pressure immediately brought there by Tavion Gardner, the 6'2", 257 lineman. Able to make that stop. It's a loss of 2 back to the original line of scrimmage, 3rd and 10.
Heady play by Brandt there to just fall on the football and live to play another down, I think is how the phrase goes.
6th play of the drive upcoming here from Mahtomedi, 3:31 and counting here at George Smith Field. Mahtomedi 24, Apples Valley 0. With Jeff Disher, I'm Alex Westhead. Back under center again, Charles Brandt. Brandt and off to Hull. Hull continues to churn the legs forward. Looks like they'll spot him down to the 8-yard line. So that'll be a gain of 4, but that'll be unsuccessful conversion there on 3rd down. And what that means for Mahtomedi, 4th and 6, inside the 10. I think the offense will stay on the field here.
Let's see, they do. I would personally take the points.
So Charles Brandt back under center, I formation again. Roarer as a fullback, behind him Hull. Receiver out to the left is Brian. Hull looking for Brian, wide open, touchdown Mahtomedi. Charles Brandt with a perfect pass to a wide open Andrew Brand. They've scored 3 on the ground. First through the air for Mahtomedi. It's 30-0 Zephyrs.
I think Apple Valley was keying in on Mahtomedi taking the points there and didn't have an answer for that touchdown pass far side of the field.
And Jeff, before the drive started, you said with the short field, just 22 yards to go. Basically points guaranteed for Mahtomedi.
Yes.
4th down, little risky, but they made it pay off.
And you know what? Take 6 and 7 where you can get them. or not. Blocked field goal.
And the field
or
goal.
blocked point after.
The extra point blocked by Apple Valley. And that'll make the kicker, Joseph Heinz, 3 for 4 on extra point attempts with the 1 block there and the 1 field goal as well. But still 30-0 for Mahtomedi.
And I want to go back to that point after touchdown because I get the feeling that the snap was a little low, which led to the block.
So for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs, 7-play drive, only went 22 yards. But the big thing, again, when you talk about getting ahead in football games, you want to wind that clock down. 3 minutes, 52 seconds taken off the clock here in that drive by the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. So here again, the touchdown, just a beautiful play action and a wide open wide receiver there for the 6.
We might see the point after as well. I got the feeling just based on how things shook out that the snap may have been a little low, but it's still 30-0 in Mahtomedi's favor, 2:39 to play in the 3rd quarter.
So Heinz here to kick off again, with the Zephyrs leading 30-0. And again, back deep to receive near side Hoyter. The middleman in the back is Garrison, and then off to the left side, a new person for Apple Valley, the senior, Maleo Patterson. Kick is up, and as it's done every time for Joseph Heinz tonight, it finds its way into the end zone for another touchback. So another Apple Valley drive that'll start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. And that's the other thing to point to about the kickoffs here from Heinz is that he's been booting it into the end zone on both sides of the field.
Yes.
The wind has been, looks like a little soft going from our vantage point across the field, but still consistent kicking helps you in November.
Indeed, and with the ball on the 20-yard line to begin the drive for Apple Valley, how do the Eagles respond?
We'll find out here on this drive. Wyatt, the quarterback, out of the pistol formation. Again, Giaffi in the backfield. He'll send Hyder in motion from left to right. Handoff is not to Giaffi. No, that's the wrong number. As 25 on the carry, Marcel Booth up the middle. He'll get down to the 23-yard line. Looks like they're stepping it off just a little bit more generously to the 24-yard line. So a gain of 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6.
Booth, the 5'9", 165-pound sophomore running back for Apple Valley. Impressive run from him on 1st down.
His first carry for a gain of 4 tonight. That's a 4th running back now, which Apple Valley has used this evening in this contest against the Mahtomedi Zephyrs. Eagles will approach the line here on 2nd and 6. 2 receivers split out to the left-hand side. It's Patterson and Garrison. Again, Booth is the lone back. Wyatt, the quarterback. They'll send Patterson in motion from left to right. Wyatt awaiting the snap. Audibles for one more signal to his receiver onto the right-hand side to Patterson. Now he'll send Patterson in motion again to the left-hand side and around to Patterson. Patterson looked to have been tripped up by his own feet. He'll fall down. The tackle in that case will go to Beersdorf. That'll bring up 3rd down after a gain of about 1. It'll be a 3rd and 5 coming for the Eagles.
3rd and 5 for the Eagles.
I'd almost go to the air here if I'm Apple Valley after a steady diet of 2 straight runs to begin the drive for the Eagles.
So we have a 3rd and 5. Wyatt again, the quarterback. Out of the pistol set, Booth in the backfield. Has a receiver on the near side is Schlichting. Out to the right-hand side again is Patterson. Still waiting for the snap, looking to communicate with that receiver onto the right side. No pressure shown by Mahtomedi. Pass complete to Schlichting across the 30. It'll be a 1st down for Apple Valley as he's down to the 31-yard line. Looks like they may give him to the 32, depending on the referee's spot. Looks like he'll be at the 31. So a gain of 6 on the play and an Apple Valley 1st down.
1st down, Eagles.
You know what's been said with the tortoise and the hare going back to when we were wee ones. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady may turn into points for Apple Valley in the early stages of what will effectively be the 4th quarter.
The first down for Apple Valley here in the 3rd quarter as we're inside 30 seconds now. That's 4 now in the game for the Eagles. Wyatt, the quarterback, shotgun formation. Sends the receiver in motion. Handoff, though, is to Booth. Up the middle. He's wrapped up by a couple of Zephyrs back in there. Charlie Kramer. And I believe Jordan Hull as well defensively. Not Jordan Hull. I want to give credit where credit is due. Samuel Gary defensively for the tackle for the Zephyrs, as we're now down inside 3 seconds remaining here in the third quarter, and that should just about do it. So after no gain on that play to the 31, they'll bring a 2nd down and 10 on the other side of this quarter that did not take very long, but still extended that Mahtomedi Zephyr lead.
And Mahtomedi has come to the fore offensively all night. Granted, short fields have helped, but interesting to see what Apple Valley can do headed into the 4th quarter.
After 36 minutes of play, Mahtomedi leads Apple Valley 30-0 here on your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr football.
Olivia was a free-spirited, very sensitive little girl. She became ill, and then they revealed a mass on her brainstem. She herniated on the brain and died. Immediately, I started thinking about organ donation, and why would we not give back?
My son is 22 months old. Someone's child, basically, would have to pass in order for Kevon to be their match.
Nice to finally be. Oh my gosh, you are so tall. I can feel your heart beating. Oh my goodness, thank you.
I didn't lose her in vain. This little boy is running, playing because of my little girl, and I'm so grateful for that.
Start of the 4th quarter here at George Smith Field in Mahtomedi. Zephyrs leading 30-0 with Jeff Disher on Mounts West End. Here on a 2nd and 10, pistol formation again. Wyant, the quarterback, throwing here to the left side. Pass is complete, and a wonderful catch made there by the receiver, number 11, Jaden Harrison, as he gets forced out of bounds at the 38-yard line. And that'll be a gain of 7 on that play, and another 3rd down queued up for the Eagles.
And most importantly for Apple Valley there, Alex, the clock stops, which means more time for Apple Valley to operate and make good things happen through the air.
The ball will be spotted. They moved it back a little bit further from our vantage point of where we thought the ball would be. So it'll be 3rd and 4 at the 37. Apple Valley so far on 3rd down here, 0 for 2 in this 2nd half. Both teams have had 2 chances each to possess the ball here in the 2nd half. Just 6 points, to show for it for Mahtomedi. Handoff up the middle. It'll be close as Booth on the carry up the middle. He'll be down to the 41, and the lines judge on the far side has flipped it over, and the chains will move. Another 1st down for Apple Valley. Now 5 in the game, 2 in the half.
Steady movement from the Apple Valley Eagles. Impressive to see, and that's not to say that Mahtomedi's defense is cracking per se, but it's indicative of Apple Valley learning.
Third time, that a drive has lasted 7 plays for Apple Valley. It's the longest drive of the game for the Eagles. 1st and 10 for Apple Valley from the 41-yard line. Single back formation in the shotgun. There's quarterback Wyatt. Sends the receiver in motion. Whiter to the left. And around to Whiter. Whiter able to get that outside contain to the left side of the 45 to the 50. Cross midfield before being forced out of bounds by a couple of Zephyrs. I believe it was James Ecker who had the wraparound. And they'll be in Mahtomedi territory for just the 1st time today. A gain of 8 on that play.
Looks like the ball will be spotted at the 48-yard line.
If I could do math, I could have realized it was 10 as the midfield stripe flipped.
I'm here for you.
As some people would say, white bear math. 1st and 10 for the Eagles. From the Mahtomedi 49-yard line. They'll go pistol formation again. Booth in the backfield behind the quarterback, Wyant. Dropping back to pass. Wyant looking to step up into the pocket. Unleashes a shot. Incomplete. Well out of reach of a pair of receivers for Apple Valley. Hyder and Schlichting both in the area. Coverage defensively by a stout secondary for Mahtomedi. 2nd down and 10.
Hyder dropped to a knee in the end zone as we see a replay of the pass. No pressure on the Apple Valley quarterback, but the ball just simply overthrown.
Well, and I think if you're the quarterback and if you're Timothy Wyant, a little more patience.
Yes.
Because the pocket was still there, so wait for that play to develop before unleashing that shot, because you have the arm. Let your receiver get there a little bit before you make that throw. So 2nd down and 10 from the Mahtomedi 49-yard line. Pistol formation again. Booth in the backfield. There's Wyant. Get the snap, looking again for that left-hand side, escapes the pocket, able to get back past the original line of scrimmage. He'll stutter step out of bounds and get a gain there. The official on the far side looks to have given him the 45-yard line, and so it'll be a nice gain of 4 on that play. They'll bring up a second down, and now they've stepped it back again to the 47-yard line. So just a gain of 2 there for Wyatt. So it'll be third down again for Apple Valley. They're now 0 for 3.
I expect a play action type play here and put the ball in the air.
3rd and 8. Wyatt rolling out to the right-hand side. We saw this work in the first quarter, but he's unable. A little bit of a hands to the face there, but beautiful pursuit by number 29, James Ecker, defensively for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs down to the Apple Valley 44-yard line. A loss of 7 on the sack, and so that'll bring up a 4th down.
And you're in a spot where Apple Valley could theoretically go for it on 4th down, and didn't Mahtomedi do that on 4th down once tonight already?
I think the difference there, though, is that they were so far in the red zone that it wouldn't have mattered. There was no point in punting there. Whereas here, I think at midfield, the Eagles appear to be in punt formation with Elliott standing at his 34-yard line. And again, back to the 2 returner set, but this time the ball will come here to the near side for Gunnar Woods and into the kicking tutor. So accurate, but not necessarily in the field of play. So the official will stand at the 27-yard line, and that's where Mahtomedi will start their first drive of this fourth quarter. 1st and 10 from their own 27.
As you see the score by quarter, it's been Mahtomedi from the word go as they lead 32-0 with 9:56 to go in the game. 6 points in the 3rd quarter, Alex, compared to 14 and 10 in the first 2.
Zephyrs leading Apple Valley 30-0, 9:56 remaining here. And quarter number 4, again, the next 3 for Mahtomedi. At home to Cretin-Durham Hall, at Hill Murray, at Tartan. We'll be in Oakdale for that game on the 24th. We hope that you will join us. And up next for Apple Valley at Hastings, at Bloomington, Jefferson, and home to Cretin-Durham Hall. 1st and 10 now for Mahtomedi. Flag comes in from the backfield as the rush up the middle is tackled. This may be coming back, and the run irrelevant from where the flag was called. If it stands, it'll be the 3rd penalty assessed against Mahtomedi this evening. So far, 2 for 15. It's a chop block that has been called.
Even worse than a hold.
So that'll back up the Zephyrs here. But again, for Dave Metzel, offenses look good. Defense has done its job, really only allowing Apple Valley onto the defensive side of midfield once. You gotta like both sides of the ball and special teams too with the field goal. You love what the Zephyrs have done tonight.
And don't need to improve on much going forward if you're already doing good things.
Upcoming sports on the Zephyrs sports calendar: soccer. And boys, they will have a home and away. The boys will host St. Thomas Academy here on the 9th, and the girls will be at Visitation on the 9th. Volleyball, Park Apple Valley coming up on their schedule. Football again at Cretin-Durham Hall. Girls tennis at Burnsville on the 8th. On 1st and distance, it's held, and then going down there, a new quarterback, Samuel Gary, is able to get to the 22-yard line, so a gain of 2 after the penalty enforced. And that'll bring up a 2nd down and long. Line to gain will be the 37, so it'll be 2nd and 19.
And you go to potentially go to the air here, but in the I formation, could see a run.
2nd and 19. And there's a ball up the middle. Nice run as, again, the bench starting to roll a little bit for the Zephyrs. As coming up with that run, a nice play by number 29, James Ecker, as he will get down to the 26-yard line. So a gain there of 8 on that play, and now 3rd and 11 for the Zephyrs.
As you see the end of the run.
Perhaps one of the things that makes the Zephyrs such a difficult team to play against is that they have the opportunities through how dominant they have been in years past to get their junior varsity players on the varsity side. As a pitch to the outside of Beersdorf. Beersdorf, he's got a head of steam. He's got 1 minute to beat. Beersdorf cuts it back, lowers the shoulder, but forced down. A nice recovery by the defensive back, Noah Alberts, to save a touchdown. But a big run by Beersdorf. Beersdorf has another Zephyr first down.
Beersdorf, the 5'9", 170-pound senior from Mahtomedi, showing that he has speed and wheels to go with it.
44 yards on the run by Beersdorf, the third first down for the Zephyrs. They now have 12 first downs in the contest. And the Zephyrs continuing to do what they do so well, running that football and complementing it with the occasional pass they need every so often. Here's 1st and 10 for Mahtomedi from the Apple Valley 30. High formation again. Samuel Gary, the quarterback in relief of Charles Brandt. And out to the left-hand side. Able to get back across the 20. That'll be another first down as he stumbles all the way down to the 16-yard line. Ecker with the carry on a gain of 14 and another Zephyr first down.
And the fullback really giving Mahtomedi a chance to expand their repertoire offensively.
Zephyrs will have it 1st and 10 from the 16, 7, 10, and counting here in quarter number 4. Mahtomedi 30, and the Apple Valley Eagles 0. 1st and 10 from the 16. Two-back set again, fumbled at the snap, but fallen on by Gary, where he will be down at the, what appears to be the 18-yard line. So a loss of 2 on the play. That'll set up 2nd and 12.
Second time that a snap has potentially foiled Mahtomedi tonight, and both times Mahtomedi quarterbacking has fallen on it.
2nd and 12 from the 18. Under center, again in the I formation, Samuel Gary has Ecker in the backfield as well as Beersdorf. Handoff is to Beersdorf, an excellent hockey player in his own right. Able to keep going, young man. Inside the 5, down to the 2-yard line, and another Zephyr first down.
High snap, and Beersdorf making the best of it on the run. Juggled snap too as Beersdorf gets the handoff from Gary.
Gain of 16 on the play by Beersdorf. On the tackle, Joshua Martinson, a junior defensive back for Apple Valley. 1st and goal from the 2. Inside 6 minutes to go here at George Smith Field. Gary under center. Has Ecker and Beersdorf again in the backfield. Handoff is to Beersdorf. Beersdorf met at the line, rolling forward. He's in. Another touchdown for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs 4 times on the ground as Beersdorf adds his name to the scoring sheet this evening. It's 36-0 Zephyrs.
And one in the air too, giving Mahtomedi 2 levels with which to score with. As the extra point is upcoming with 5:45 to go in the game.
So the lineup for the extra point, again, the last extra point by the Zephyrs was blocked at the line.
Low snap may be to blame for that as well.
So a methodical drive here by the Zephyrs. Extra point is up, and it is good. So 4 out of 5 now by the kicker, Heinz. And a little bit of extra sweet victory for the Mahtomedi Zephyrs.
As Mahtomedi gets ready to face Cretin-Durham Hall on September 10th. Mahtomedi also facing Tartan on our air September 24th in a game that you will be calling with Mr. Gustafson.
Again, our upcoming broadcast schedule here, as you'll see what's coming up. We mentioned it earlier. We'll go through it once more. September 9th, volleyball, Tartan and Simley. I'll be with you at Tartan and Oakdale for that one. Jeff and I will be back on the 13th. The boys and girls soccer doubleheader, White Bear Lake and East Ridge. As the Bears and Raptors, interesting storylines there, especially on the girls' side, as the last 2 section semifinals and championships, I believe, have been determined between those 2 sides. White Bear Lake and Mounds View in football 2 weeks from today. And then volleyball, White Bear Lake, Mahtomedi, and Tartan and Mahtomedi in football on the 24th.
Looking forward to calling that White Bear Lake East Ridge doubleheader with you. And it'll be interesting to see how White Bear and East Ridge start the campaign.
So far in that last drive for Mahtomedi, their first touchdown drive of this half, 3 minutes, 52 seconds off the clock. The last drive summary for Mahtomedi, 7 plays, a wonderful, if you're head coach Metzel, a wonderful 63 yards and 8 minutes, 19 seconds wound off the clock on that last drive.
8 minutes and 19 seconds, music to my ears.
So the kick going back, because it can be fielded here. This is the first return opportunity for Apple Valley in the contest. Dwayne Smith on the return as he will roll out of bounds. As the clock will wind here now with the mercy rule in effect. And so Apple Valley will have it 1st and 10 from the 13-yard line.
10 yards on the return as the ball was picked up at the 3.
So Apple Valley offense taking their time getting back onto the field. I do want to correct myself, as it was not 8:19 on the field. I made the mistake of adding extra time on the clock on the end. So not 8 minutes, 19 seconds, but instead a total of 3 minutes and 11 seconds. So still an effective drive in time elapsed.
Spotted yourself 5 minutes and 8 seconds.
I spotted the Zephyrs that time. 1st and 10 for Apple Valley. They are taking a lot of time to come back onto the field, and again the clock winds now, 4:50 remaining. There's a takeaway for the Apple Valley Eagles. What would it be tonight?
Getting away from the defensive side of the ball. You have had a decent passing game from Apple Valley when they've chosen to use it.
So the Eagle coaching staff asking for a timeout as the Eagles a little bit out of sorts there on that drive. So timeout will be taken, will be their first. Clock will stop, 4:27 remaining.
And if I can expand on our discussion topic, when Apple Valley has elected to use its passing game, bubble screens and screen passes have worked. Apple Valley has gone the short route, but later in the season, as I'm lost in thought, short passing can open up more of your playbook as you face teams down the rest of the season, as you see the score by quarter.
Darren Lamker and Augsburg University football head coach checking out Irondale and Benilde St. Margaret, 21-10. The Irondale Knights up over the Scarlet Knights. Nice tackle on the rushing attempt there by number 32, Cole Hansen for Mahtomedi. That'll bring 2nd and 10 from the 13. Again, checking on the scoreboard elsewhere in major scores in the metro area. Here again, Champlin Park, 9-0 over Woodbury. Start of the 4th quarter there. Otherwise, no other metro scores of note to bring up. The metro area top 10, the preseason poll finds a couple of teams will await the 2nd down and 10 play here. Handoff again. There's a cut back there to the near hand side. Trotter able to get back to the left side. Wrapped on a tackle by a couple of different Zephyrs there. Going back to get to it, Jack Rorich among these Zephyrs there. A 1st down here now for Apple Valley and 4 first downs. But your top 10 poll by the Strib Metro poll: Lakeville South, Eden Prairie, STMA, Wayzata, Rosemount, Shakopee, Maple Grove, Lakeville North, Eastridge, Elk River. The top 10, a lot of familiar faces on the football side of the scale.
A lot of teams not shocking in the top 10 there, especially Eden Prairie, the one that I'm thinking of.
1st and 10 from the 32-yard line. Cutting back to the near side here, Trotter again. Trotter showing some speed, explosiveness, gets out of a couple of tackles before being brought down on that 2nd level of pursuit. Number 42, Blake Fetty on the tackle defensively for Mahtomedi. As the ball will be spotted now at the 38-yard line, so a gain of 6 on the play. The clock continues to wind, 2:40 and counting here in this 4th quarter.
2nd down and 3 here, Alex. Take a shot if you're Apple Valley. Nothing to lose.
And the stat that we've mentioned, dating back to 2020, 4 games in which Apple Valley was shut out. So when they have scored points, they have won. That feels like obvious to say. But when they have not scored, they have not won. But all the games in which they lost last year, they had not scored any points. So 2nd down and about 4. Low snap, bobbled briefly, but held on to here by the quarterback, Wyant. Wyant has some space here to the near side. Wyant cutting it back to the middle across midfield, able to still escape some pressure, and he might go the distance. Wyant escaping the last man to beat, and he dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Apple Valley Eagles. The shutout streak is over for the Eagles in losses, and it's 37-6.
Well, look at that. Apple Valley quarterback Tim Wyatt, the 6 foot, 160-pound senior, showing that the man has legs, but also getting blocks from his offensive line along the way, as you see the run here. But that run call courtesy of a bubbled snap, so I don't know if that was I doubt that was a designed run. But Wyatt making lemonade out of the lemons he was given. Putting the ball in the end zone for 6 points for Apple Valley.
Whistle will blow. Timeout, Eagles. It'll be their second of the half. They have one remaining. Mahtomedi with all three. The drive summary for Apple Valley. 4 plays, 62 yards, 3 minutes, 32 seconds off the clock, of course, with the running clock. But that play by Wyatt, talk about having positives that Apple Valley can take into their next matchup against the Hastings Raiders in the bowl at McNamara Field. That's certainly one of the positives. It's big, explosive plays. And again, credit the Apple Valley students out there on the far sideline, too. They've hung in there in perfect football weather conditions, supporting their student athletes when a year ago you couldn't have students in the building.
No, and it is great on both ends and both sides to see students back in buildings. As we see a replay here of the run from Wyatt. Again, I'll say fruit out of, or lemonade out of lemons, and making fruit out of absolutely having nothing with the bobbled snap. Wyatt didn't look to me to struggle at all in that run from the line of scrimmage forward.
And to me, there's one crucial block in that run that makes a difference. The extra point here is up, and it is good as the kicker Antonio Santoya finds the perfect way down the middle. So that'll make it a 37-7 game with 1:53 remaining. But if we take one more look at that long run on the near side, what really allows Wyatt that chance to cut back to the middle is not necessarily an offensive line block, but instead it's a block on the near side there by Eli Schlichting that really allows him to cut back and break back to the middle. So we'll see it here. The bobbled snap, he picks it up, he stays composed. Huge skill as a quarterback. Then cuts it back to the mid-side, and right there on the near side of your screen, that first block there by Schlichting allows him to cut back and create the space. He turns on the jets, and he's able to find his way into the end zone. That's a great run by a quarterback. And while the passing game hasn't been there for the Eagles, that's what you want to see out of your quarterback, that ability to improvise and make plays up on the run.
But with improvisation, Alex, comes with patience comes improvisation. And Wyatt, patient as all get out, waiting for the block to happen on the near side of the field, which allowed him to scamper to pay dirt.
To summarize the game again briefly, both teams started with punts on their first possessions. An interception on the second Apple Valley drive gave Mahtomedi a short field, something which they had frequently tonight, before a couple of rushing touchdowns. First from Jordan Harvey from 1 yard out and from 9 yard out on the next drive. A 10-yard rushing touchdown from Jordan Holt on the third consecutive touchdown drive, and a field goal by Joseph Heinz made it a 24-0 game at the half. Then on this side of the second half, but again, back-to-back punts on both teams' drives to start the second half. Then a passing touchdown from quarterback Charles Brandt to Andrew Bryan that gave the Zephyrs their first touchdown of this half. And again, wound a lot of time off the clock. The next drive for Mahtomedi, a 2-yard rushing touchdown from Beersdorf. And then the latest rushing touchdown here by Timothy Wyatt. As this kick will go into the end zone, it will be a touchback. And for the first time today, the Zephyrs will start 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. There's a clock now, still 1:53 remaining here. So the Zephyrs will improve to 1-0 on this young season. And if we look at the all-time record of Zephyrs football here at George Smith Field, this has been a very difficult place for opposing teams to be able to come out with a win. I believe, if memory serves, if I look back in the record, home team regular season wins for Mahtomedi, as you see our social media there on your screen. Feel free to follow us, Facebook.com, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can follow Jeff at Dish_in-the-Vox. And again, Dish spelled D-I-S-C-H. And you can find me on Twitter at Alex Westhead.
Both of us not hard to find.
On first down, run up the middle, met immediately. Great defensive coverage there by Apple Valley. Of course, Jeff and I have multiple different things that we jump into. You can follow Jeff, of course, for hockey coverage across the state, and Busing's on our professional ball club. You can follow me, of course, for CCHA and Division I college hockey news and Division III college hockey news in the MIAC. And, of course, high school stuff, too, because we like doing preps.
And the professional ball club we refer to would be? I tee you up and...
Well, I'll leave my comments on the Minnesota Twins for another time. So a loss of 3 on the play. That'll bring up second down and 13. Clock will wind as 1:10 now remaining. So the Zephyrs improved to 1-0 on the season, and Apple Valley will fall to 0-1. Something to note about Apple Valley, they've had a pattern in the last couple of seasons, a pattern of positive point differential to negative in each of the last years. Last year negative, as here's a nice run by Beersdorf on second down. He'll have enough yardage for a first down to the 33 and more. They'll step it out to the 34-yard line. Another Zephyr first down. As that'll be the 6th of the second half for them.
Was just going to say, might be the last play of the game. Might have one more rush in the ball game, but good to work with you, and we'll do it again.
And again, the Zephyr fans with the lights on their phone on, waving goodbye to the Apple Valley fans on the other side of the sideline. We certainly have missed that fan-base-to-fan-base interaction, so popular here in high school sports. Last play of the game. As the handoff here to the left side is Beersdorf. Beersdorf able to break into the secondary, still across midfield. He's taken down on the other side of midfield by number 24 defensively, Christopher Carroll, defensively for Apple Valley, and that will do it. Zephyr home turf. Always defended by Mahtomedi and Dave Metzel's crew. It's defended again tonight as the Mahtomedi Zephyrs with a 37-7 victory over the Apple Valley Eagles. Jeff, your final thoughts?
My final thought concerning Mahtomedi, and actually I'll go Apple Valley first. Apple Valley was successful on numerous occasions and started to build blocks for later in the year. Mahtomedi, the team we've always seen as strong here at George Anderson Field, staying strong and looking to keep strong down the road.
Our camera crew and our operators tonight, Stephen Adams, Kenny Ronan, and our dear friend whose name I'm really stumbling on. No, it's Chris Stoltzman. Aha, I just had to sell him up just a little bit. He did have a nice cowboy hat on. He switched it out for the more seasonally appropriate hat down on the field right now.
No Hawaiian shirts on our crew tonight.
No Hawaiian shirts on our crew tonight. For David Schuyler and Arlen Becker in the truck. For Jeff Disher this evening on Color Commentary, I am Alex Westad. Once again, the final score here from George Smith Field and the Al Sandsgaard press box. The Apple Valley Eagles 7 and the Mahtomedi Zephyrs 37. This is your home for Mahtomedi Zephyr football.